Now, Sir Ivan, if you will press this switch over, when I say now, that will open our station. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Thank you very much.
Sorry guys, I started the intro, but I forgot to put me back in the view. So, good afternoon, everybody. How are you all? Welcome to my little stream. It's going to be a little bit different today. Big gold star to Facebook user. Good afternoon, Penelope. How are you? I do apologise. It only comes up as Facebook user for me. You have to do some weird registration thing, allow your name or something like that. I can't remember what it is. So unfortunately we have no Natasha today, and also because I've not been able to manage to film any of my Eddie Stobarts, I'm going to be going live later on doing the Eddie Stobart, so I need to finish this stream by about 5 o'clock. Which means, unfortunately, we have less time, more to do. So I'm going to kind of crack on. So we have no guests at all today. So Sammy Hughes, hiya Penny. How are you, Sammy? So let's do the little recap first. I've started work on another diamond painting, which means I've had to clear my desk back to get it on, which means that this has gone on a little bit nicer, which is always good. So I'll pull the camera back as far as I can. So this is my little coach that I drive down to London, and what we're hoping today is to finish it off. There has been a change of schedule with my work. You kind of expected that, because I don't know if it's because I'm too much of a pushover or because work is asking too much of me, but I'm now doing an extra day this week. I've also kitted up, let's have a look. Right, I'm doing okay, lovely. Bit scared at the moment as having surgery on a nasty mass on the 31st. Got my op date today and it's making me anxious. Please don't. I'm not experienced with having operations, but the few operations that I've had, I, like you, have gone in all nervous and worried and fearing the worst, basically. And I've come out of all of my operations gone, I don't know what the fuss is about. So few things to note. First of all, these surgeons have done this before. It's their bread and butter. They do it every day. Just because you have the odd operation doesn't mean they don't perform them. So they do know what they're doing. The nurses who deal with you, they know how anxious that you are, and it's their job not only to do all the nursey qualified things to do, but also to keep you calm. So really have nothing to worry about. And the only thing, to be honest with you, the biggest worry that you've probably got is the hospital food any good? Because some hospitals are better than others. So yeah, I don't think you've got much to worry about. So Natasha, I'll be home about 3ish if you can wait out for me to join. Natasha, you know the score. You're always welcome anytime, early, late, or on time. It makes no odds. We're just happy to have you, because it is a proven fact that you make this show better. Just if you just sat there and did nothing. Right. Thank you for those things. I will definitely take them with me. Lovemin says hi all. just lucky they've caught it early. Exactly. So it looks like they've already done their job before you've even gone in. And by catching it early, it's made the surgery easier as well. So honestly, you've got very little to worry about. It's just obviously because it's not a regular, you know, people don't go in for operations every day. You don't really know what to expect. In my experience, because you can't eat before the surgery, I think your biggest worry about anything is, am I going to get some food because I'm bloody hungry? So, and if that, you can just worry about that. I remember the last operation I said I had, the nurse gave me this injection to put me to sleep. And she said, I'll you try and count backwards from 10, but I bet you don't make it past 6, 7 or 8, she said. I said, I bet I can make it all the way. And I remember going 10, 9, 8. I might not even got to 8. And the next thing I remember, I was in the recovery room. So, yeah, that's it. Just don't panic. Right. Chris Davis, well, sorry, Chris, I owe you a massive apology. I fell asleep last night, and I'm going to send you something. I'm just going to send you what you've asked for and something for your dinner tonight. Sammy Hughes says, haha, that's true. Thanks, Penny. No point me joining you now. My signal will drive me nuts on way home. Listen, Natasha, take your time. Just arrive or not arrive. You know, it's up to you. I don't mind. Bear with me. Something's worrying me because I've tried to put this show onto the big. As you may know, I have the show on one of my monitors just so I can check things are working fine. And since I got my big telly, I've started putting on the TV, and I put it on screen. It's just brought something up, and it's just all green lines. So right, they're putting me to sleep with gas and air and a high potency gas. Well, there you go. It can't be that serious then, because if it was that serious, they put you out under general. And Chris says, hi, how's everyone? Right, so let's crack on with some stuff. So I have been doing a lot of kitting up. To give you an idea, I've got 3 kits that I've kitted up. There's this one, obviously. There's the other one that I'm doing that I'm not showing you. I feel bad when I say I'm not showing you the other one, but I'm doing a present for somebody, and then they don't show themselves as a regular YouTube viewer, but they know I have a YouTube channel, and I don't want them watching, and I don't want, spoil the surprise. The third one that I've kitted up is this, and I bought some extra drills which arrived yesterday, so they've all been kitted up. So these are my little drawers, which they're all full of Tic Tac containers. Some are full, some are not. I've got my containers. If there's more than 5 bags, I then pop them into there. And every single one of these pots on there, it's a unique color, because it was getting a little bit full. So if there's more than one of these, the first one goes on there and the rest go into the box, which is here. So you're going to love this, guys. So these are all the ones that are not unique, and I'll try and very quickly, without, I don't want to use up too much time, I'll try and separate these into the DMC numbers so you can see how much I've got of some of them. 31748844 939939 823345310. So between the 3 projects, 823, That one's all right. That's white. That's white. So that's okay. Right. So we have got, between the projects, most of them have got one or two. So I've got 3 pots of these. This is 823, but I like 823. I've got 5 pots of 939. So I've actually got 6 plus what's in the Tic Tac. But this is my favorite color as a black. I would much rather do this as black, and I'm contemplating on the snow bus. There's a lot of black, and I'm contemplating replacing all the 310s with 939s, as I just think it's a better color for black, especially as I've got a blue bus in the background. And this is my 310s. So I've got 7 pots of 310s, 6 here and 1 on there. So yeah, and Natasha really laughs at me when she sees those 310s. It's not everybody's favorite color, is it? So basically what I'm going to be doing is I've got my Tic Tac containers, and then when the Tic Tac container runs out, then I top it up from the pot. I don't think that was going to go in there. So obviously when these run out, obviously I just top up from there, and then when this one runs out, I then replace it with that one, and then hopefully within a couple of months this box at least will be empty. The only thing I haven't kitted up yet is the individual bags. I got the 447, and I've roughly sorted them. I've done some of them, but not all of them. This is all the numbers that are less than 1,000. This is all the numbers between 3,000 and 3,999. This is my 3.3s. This is my 3.6s. This is my 3.7s, and then this is my 3.8. So I'm probably gonna do, when I get a bit of time, I'll do my 3.7s, my 3.0s, and my 3.3s, because they're not going to take long, are they? And my 3.6s, because there's hardly any there. Then do my 3.8s, and then I'll sort this further. So maybe 1 to 200, 201 to, or 100s and 200. You know what I mean by sorting the numbers down a little bit. And that just makes it a bit easier. Then I'd like to try and fill these up by trays, because like this one is 747 to 813. So it'd be nice to have just one tray full. But doing the one bag, so some of those bags I can't do because the Tic Tac's already full. And then lastly, because I've kitted up the next project, which has got 70 colours, and I'm currently working on this one, which has got 41 colours, my Tic Tac holders now look like this. Did that one come up? So there's that one, there's that one, there's that one, and there's that one. And my next fear is I'm going to be working on the Crystal Creations one next, which has its own unique drills, because they're all round and I think they're a bit crystally. Then I'm working on, what am I working on? Snowbus. Now Snowbus has 69 colours, and I've checked out of all of those colours, only 2 are already in there. But one of those, 310, is part of the Flixbus one, and the 336, I think that is the other one as well. Yeah, that's shared with the other project. So yeah, I've got 120, 130, 129 different colors. 129 colors, but some of them will overlap, and there's 24 there, so there's only about 90 pots that I've got. So I've got to hope that at least 30 colors are being used for both projects. Otherwise I'm going to have to buy more of these containers. So Right, let's do a catch up. Put me through there and gas. How is everyone? So that's what I mean. It's in it. It is general, but they can't use the injection. Right. Okay. All right. Fair enough then. Love minis round holders. At Chris Davis World. I'm doing okay, Chris. And Penny, you got enough drills there? Probably not, actually, if we're going to be absolutely honest. Right. So, oh, Mike's little experiment last week. I used the two-part epoxy. I did make a bit of a mess, so you can do it a lot neater. But this is, I feel that if I really wanted to rip that off, I could. But it's, oh, there we go. And I've just done it. So there you go. That's not much better than the other one. But no, it was actually, it's a lot stronger than the super glue one. I've had to put some force on that. So obviously, I was just about to tell you how two-part epoxy is good, and it's not worked on this. So I don't know how I'm going to do that then. So that looks like it's going to be a solder iron. Right, I really want to crack on with this because I've got until, I've just used up 20 minutes. So let me move that camera down a bit because I'm getting, some of it's being blocked by the Penny's pit stop, which is good. You know, it's nice that you know who I am. But obviously you want to see this project. I need a bit of wood as well because you see where these are tiered, which is brilliant. But if you put one against the other, can you see how that second row disappears? So I really want a bit of wood underneath the back row to lift it to about that high so that all my I got told off again, look. There we go. So Love Mini says, banner. Yep, there's the banner. I popped the banner on. So, listen, I'll do all the disclaimer and everything while I'm doing the first bit of drilling. So, basically, this show is just me having a chit chat with you about whatever. You are more than welcome to use the chat. But please do respect others in the same way that I try very hard to respect you. Now, I do ordinary things because it's a long stream, well, longer than, you know, like my pre-recorders and stuff. So I may do little things that might upset you, that you may not agree with, such as drinking, eating, smoking, breathing. You know, all those things are offensive to some people. So it would appear. I also have opinions. You guys are also welcome to have opinions. Please do not on this show confuse opinions with facts. An opinion is just that. And I totally respect the right to have everyone. If your opinion differs from mine, well, that just makes the show more interesting. Because then maybe we can discuss why you feel differently about something than I do. But just because your opinion is different from mine doesn't mean that either of us are right or wrong. So also, but the most important thing is to respect others. Try to keep the conversation flowing as you know, as it's going. If you find yourself upset by a comment that someone has made, just ignore it. I have some absolutely wonderful moderators, and the moderators always work in the best interests of the stream, not me, not themselves, always in the best interests of the stream. And I have a little golden rule that if my moderators do something wrong, but they have it with good intentions, they have my 100% backing. So if you find yourself blocked or banned or timed out, it's probably because they've felt that you've been a bit naughty, but they will give you warnings first. So that was a little bit long-winded. I do apologize. I sound like I'm waving the big bad dictator stick around, but we had a few incidents where we felt maybe someone was a bit upset by someone, and trolls do exist. I'm pretty sure there isn't anyone who hasn't encountered a troll. I can't guarantee your experience will be wonderful here, but we will do our damnedest best to make sure it is. And that reminds me, my language, I try to tone it down for live streams, because obviously I am aware that streams can be replayed at any time, and you don't know who's in the room at the time with you, but sometimes things do slip out. So if I say something a little bit fruity, I do like to use the word fruity. I do apologize. But the bottom line is, if you're not happy with what goes on my stream, I'm really sorry to lose you, but this probably isn't the stream for you. So how is everybody? What is everyone up to? And all those wonderful questions that go with it. God, I'm lost without Natasha now, aren't I? Right, so Banner, are you almost done? Yes, this is all I've got left to do this, and I really want to get this done today. We plan to get this done today. I found myself with I was just exhausted yesterday. I don't know what's up with me. I'm working, and while I'm at work, I'm fine. You know, I'm absolutely fine at work. It's almost like I feel like I can go all day, and then as soon as I get home, I'm like, yeah. If I'd have done like 4 hours overtime, I would have been fine. But as soon as I come home, I'll just be bleh. So I don't know what's up with me. I planned a really good session because I got my TV. I planned a really good session on the PlayStation with Chris. I got home. Chris was doing his stream. I had a quick phone call to a friend about an incident that is nothing major. And I was doing a little bit of housework, actual housework, real proper housework, not this housekeeping that I say I do on diamond painting, but, you know, proper tidying things up in my house for a change. And then all of a sudden I just completely lost it. And I'm like, ugh. And no, I just couldn't keep up. So, and I woke up this morning to messages saying, when are we going on the PlayStation? I'm thinking, oh, it's a bit late now. That was sent about 5 hours ago. So, update with work. Oh, Natasha, it's my own fault forgetting to get my inhaler out the fridge this morning. One I had in my bag ran out. Oh. Laura Robson says, hi! Hi, how are you, Laura? Is things going well? Are you excited about tonight, Laura? You know why, without me mentioning what I mustn't mention to Ted. Ted, I keep calling him Ted. Why do I call him Ted? Mike. Yeah, so what happened was I went into work yesterday. Now, after the last stream I had with you guys, my boss rang me up. I call him my boss, but he tells me off for calling him my boss. And he's not really my boss anymore because he does private hire. The private hire and the Flixbus side used to be dealt with by the same person. And it just got too much work for him. So he said to his boss, this really needs to be split into two. So now I've got a boss for Flixbus, the boss for private hire. And unfortunately, I think very highly of this boss. He's just, I've got no reason to call him a liar. Yes, he messes me around, but it's always in the needs of the business. When you're doing things like private hire, things can change very quickly. So he needs his flexible drivers to be flexible. And I know it's a pain in the arse, and I hate being changed around, which is why I've chosen not to go onto private hire, because of the, you know, you could be doing a nice trip down to somewhere planned for tomorrow, and then you get up in the morning and suddenly you're off somewhere else a little bit boring, taking horrible school kids to somewhere or whatever you're doing, and it's how it goes. It doesn't work for me. But anyway, so he gave me a call and he said, I need you to go back onto Flixbus next week. They're short on it. There's a driver left them. I won't tell you the circumstances, but if I did, you'd find it funny. Probably wouldn't actually. So they want me to do 4 days. Well, I'm really in two minds about this shuttle service I'm doing. I hate it. It wasn't what I was expecting. I don't feel I had enough training, but I've got used to it now, and the people have got used to me. And most trips are a bit of a laugh. You know, I had one guy get on yesterday. He went, "Oh, I thought you were meant to be on holiday," and I went, "Yeah, so did I." But in all fairness, I did plan that overtime. I'm a bit of a greedy cow. I get my week's wages for being on holiday, do 2 days overtime, so I get paid 7 days for doing 2 days work. But anyway, so they want me to do 4 days Flixbus. I didn't know at the time what the days were going to be, but I'm working normally next week anyway. So then when I got to work yesterday, he said, "Oh, I need a favour." He said, "Instead of you doing this overtime on the shuttle bus on Thursday, can you do Flixbus instead?" And I said, "Well, not really, because every trip on Flixbus is every trip is a 2-day thing. You go down to London one day, you come back the next. And obviously I only want to work 2 days overtime. I'm in now. You want me to work 2 more days, that's 3 days. So really I'm not happy to." And obviously, you know me, I hate saying no. So I said, "Well, look, I'll tell you what, give a call around to the other drivers, see if you can get anyone else in. If you really do exhaust every possibility, then I'll do it," which is a stupid thing for me to say, because he rang me 5 minutes late. He says, yeah, I've rung everyone, we can't get anyone else in. So I am now working Thursday and Friday. It will be a day shift, which is why I'm doing a day stream. So basically I'm up early in the morning. Otherwise I would have done this stream for as long as I feel like doing the stream, and then I'll go live with the Eddie Stobart at whatever time I finish, whether it be 6 o'clock or midnight. But unfortunately I need to be in bed for about 9 or 10 to get up in the morning and drive down to London. But I'm quite excited actually, because the person I've had a few incidents at work, and obviously I'm a bit worried about who I'm working with, and I'll get on to that in a little bit. Bit of bad news actually, but I've seen who I'm working with, and she's a funny girl. She's tiny, but she is so good with her luggage. She's about 3/4 of the size of me, and I'm not big. And I've got to admit, she's one of these people that whether you've got any chivalrousness about you or not, you'll say, "Oh, do you want me to do luggage?" Because you look at her and you think she'll never actually, she can't pick up a handbag. And she goes, no, it's okay. She goes, "I do plenty of private hire. I got used to it." And, you know, you're loading the passengers up, and then we did one run together, and we had university student intake, so they all turning up with 4 or 5 heavy suitcases, and she's just like boom, 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 and it goes, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And some of these bags, I'm getting worn out lifting one bag. You know me, I confess I'm not very strong, and I got no shame in admitting that. But she's an absolute joy to work with, and she knows what my mental state is like at the moment, and she's just really good at working around it. And I remember one instance, something had happened, and I was sending a text message, and she couldn't see what I was writing. A, she was driving, and B, I'm a little bit private. The way I hold my phone, no one else can see what I'm writing unless I want them to see what I'm writing. And she just turns to me and she says, no, something about when an angry, you can always tell when a woman's angry because of how far, or when she types fast, it's because she's angry. And I'm thinking, on the one hand, I do type quite quickly. I've been typing since I was about 14, and so long as it's a QWERTY keyboard, and sometimes they do these A, B, C, D, E keyboards, and I'm going to make myself sound dumb here. I can't work them. I know my alphabet, but when it's written out in front of me, I can't type with it. Whereas a QWERTY keyboard, not a problem. But yeah, she was right. I was a bit wound up about something, so naturally I'm like, so. But I'll be working with her tomorrow, and she's absolutely lovely. So, anyway, so I went to see this Flixbus boss, and I said to him, "What am I working next week?" And he said, "I think I'm doing this from memory. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, and then Sunday." I said, "Well, I can't work Sunday." He says, "Why not?" I said, "Well, I'm on holiday Monday. If I go down on Sunday, that means I'm coming back on the Monday." He says, "Well, I didn't know anything about that." And I went, No. I said, "I booked this back in January. When I first started with the company in January, I'd booked a holiday in May, a holiday in August, and a holiday in October. Now, I normally would book a holiday in February, but I'd only been with the company a month, and I just thought that might be taking the mickey, so I didn't bother booking that one. I had my holiday in May, and I started on Flix just before August. And I'd actually said to them, "Do you want me to postpone the holiday?" Thinking it'll be postponed for a week or two. And they went, "Yeah, fine." And I said, "Well, when can I rebook it?" After I'd actually cancelled the holiday. And they went, "Oh, it won't be until October." And I'm like, damn. So I've had no summer holiday. I had my holiday because I've been pushing for holiday, because I get 28 days. And the reason I get so much is because we don't get bank holidays. So we get the bank holidays thrown into our holiday entitlement. So we get same as anyone else. So we can carry up to 10 days holiday over to the next holiday year. So I need to get my 28 days down to 10 or less. So I've been pushing my boss for holiday, and he gave me a holiday at the end of September, which is when I did an awful lot of this. I did quite a few streams. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a pause there for fresh air and just catch up. Oh yeah, last night Kenny's show ended up with a huge picture of a male member. Are we talking? I don't know what you're talking about, Love Mins. Kenny's show ended up with a huge picture of a male member. What, a male member of the choir, or? Good luck, Sammy Hughes. Tired, sore, fed up with life, so nothing new. Do you know what, Laura? On the one hand, I don't want to take your misery away, but I am tempted to say, aren't we all? I think we just have to suck it up sometimes and just get on with it, and just say to ourselves, tomorrow might be a better day. It probably won't be, but we can only hope, can't we? To give you an idea of how optimistic I am in life, the last 2 weeks I've been doing the shuttle bus, and I've been a bit annoyed because I bought these new sunglasses, and every single day that I was working, it was pouring down with rain and dark, as it would do in Johnston because it's Scotland. And I was whinging because I couldn't use my new sunglasses. Yesterday, was the first time ever that I've worked in Johnston and it wasn't raining. Over 2 weeks I waited for that day. That's the amount of joy we can sometimes get in Scotland. But no, I'm confident you'll be happy and joyful tonight, because it's League Cup night tonight, isn't it? And I'm really actually hoping for Aberdeen to win. And the reason I'm like Aberdeen is, as of this season, I like Aberdeen. I'm doing it the old American sports way. I know that in the UK, people support a sports team. In America, they tend to follow more sports star. So if you like Fred Bloggs, who's the quarterback for so many such and such smashers, and then he gets transferred to some other team, you would then switch allegiances with the team. Correct me if I'm wrong, love minis, please. But my absolute favourite footy team is Wycombe Wanderers, and we sold a player to Aberdeen. He's 30 years old. He's got a chance to play in a big league. You know, if you're in the third tier of English football and you get the opportunity to play for a team that's going up against the likes of Rangers and Celtic, you got to take it, haven't you? Especially when you're 30. And I think Aberdeen were a bit naff last season, and I was hoping that they were going to be better this season, possibly even get into Europe. And I think it might go that way. So I'm not saying Aberdeen is so much better because of one ex-Wycombe player, but yeah. So Aberdeen's one of my teams, and they're in the semi-finals. So I don't know how I feel. Do I want them to get? Yeah, I'm going to be a bit mean. I'm going to go Aberdeen win, and then they get drawn Rangers and Celtic together in the semi-final, and then Aberdeen can play the other team, and then they'll slip through nice and quietly, because all of the hype and media is going to be on Rangers and Celtic, and then Aberdeen just quietly slip through into the final. And I just hope they have a good game. I'm not going to say I want Aberdeen to win or Celtic or Rangers, but just a good game. So, has my waffle helped you at all, Laura? Probably not. It's probably made your life worse, hasn't it? Right, so Friday evening I won't be around, been called into PF. I don't know what PF is, but I won't be streaming Friday now anyway, because I've got to do that Flixbus trip. Because Flixbus is 2-day trip, so I won't be streaming again until Saturday, and I'm going to do everything within my weak little power to make sure I'm not working Saturday or Sunday. Darn it, I'm going to get at least 2 days off. So right, tomorrow I got eye test. Hopefully they can help me with reading for dyslexia. Yeah. Hopefully they just test that you've got eyes. That would be a good start, wouldn't it? I know I'm such. You actually are, Natasha. Did you know what? Right, I kind of say it jokingly, but when you go off to make yourself a cup of coffee, or you go off to sort the birds out, the show goes dead. It genuinely does. I can come in with all my little newsy stories, but then I go, blah, 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 and then I've run out of stuff to say. And when we're on the stream, we end up talking about stuff that we had no idea we were going to talk about it. And we just make crap up, and it goes well. So I do but to be honest with you, I'm praising you. I think you're wonderful. It's always a better show with 2 people on. I think it's an even better show with 3 people on, and 4 people is probably optimum joy in the show. So yeah, what I'm trying to say there is you're special, but not that special. And obviously I can have a laugh with you, which really does help a lot. That goes a long way. You know, if you start having a laugh with someone and they've got no sense of humor and they go, what do you mean by that? You know, that don't help, does it? Love Mini says, Natasha, that's what makes a good stream. Yeah, just our randomness. You know, we have a plan, which we don't always stick with. So also, in case you hadn't noticed, what I'm doing is when I'm diamond painting off stream, what I tend to do is I might do, say, a ruler full, and I'll do that half ruler. Then I'll take that off, and then I'll put the next ruler down, and then I'll work on that half. But any colors that are also in that one, I'll do that as well. And then I'll do the next one. So I end up with sort of one almost finished and then one a little bit more. And it just kind of builds up. So that's what I've done here. I've opened up one bit of square, done, say, the number ones. Then I've opened up the next square and done, say, the number twos, for example. Now I've opened up the next one and I'm going to do the E's. Well, as if I just rip all of them open, you know what happens, your hand stick. So it means I've got to go back over different numbers, but I just think it's a bit easier that way. Again, it's like we've said before, if you take 100 diamond painters, you could end up with 100 different ways of doing it. But I would normally do this with my ruler. But as you can see, this number plate bit has got in the way a little bit. So, but all of this, the rest of it I've done. So, yes, going back to what I was saying, where was I up to? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm doing 4 days next week, but I am not doing the Sunday because that means I won't be back on the Monday. So if he ends up changing all of my shifts, say, for example, if he makes me go out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's fine. So the only way I'll work on a Sunday is if I'm coming back. He's probably going to persuade me to have, instead of having a holiday from Monday to Monday, he might persuade me to have Monday to Tuesday. But I don't know. So Tuesday to Tuesday, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, so I also had a chat with him. If some of you may recall, this is a bit grim. I do apologize. So I had an instant where I had a co-driver recording me on a device and then was allegedly showing that recording to all of the other drivers, which I can only put down as for entertainment purposes. So I was going to put in a complaint, and I had a chat with the boss about it, and he's really does all the data and everything, and he's basically told me there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. So I said, okay, well, in that case, can you change my line on the rotor, please? And I think I'm in a strong position there because we're really short on drivers. And if I don't get a change on my line, I'm just going to end up saying to him, I'm really sorry, I cannot work for this company if I do not feel safe and comfortable at work. You know, I have a big responsibility. When I'm in control of the vehicle, I am responsible for the lives of about 50 odd people. I think our coaches, when they're full, have got 53 people. And if all I'm doing is worrying about other things and I'm not fully focused on the roads, that can have devastating effects. So it will be a case of, please, can I change lines, or can you change the other person's line? But seeing as I'm the one making the waves, probably just as easy to change my line, isn't it? So, but I also know that this young lady who's going to be working with me tomorrow, she might be looking to come on to Flicks, and it'd be really, really good if I could work with her, because we clicked really well as well, which really helps. The guys I'm working with next week, I'm covering for one guy on holiday, and I know the guy, I get on well with the guy, but I've never worked with him. When we do the changeovers at the hotel, we chat and that, and he seems lovely, but I've never worked with him. And the guy I'm working with at the end of the week, I don't know, because I'm covering for there's a couple I get on really well with, husband and wife team, so they're both off, so I'm one of the drivers but not the other one, because obviously the issue you have is it's great to have a husband and wife team, because you know they're going to come in, you know they're going to get on because they're married to each other, but the drawback is when one is off, they're both off, so you don't have one person to cover, you have two. But that's the way it goes, isn't it? Right, I'm going to save this bottom bit for a while because, oh, what's going on here? Geez, I made some errors there, didn't I? There we go. Yeah, this one is a lot dark. You see where you can't see because the camera's not down. So you can see where the road is meeting the bus. So most of this bit there is a dark colour, and my screen's just gone off. Right, that's better. I've got 3 monitors. I don't know if the computers can quite handle it because every now and again one of the monitors. Well, see, I've only got 2 HDMI ports on my computer, so I've got 2 monitors connected with the HDMI cables, and one is connected with the HDMI to USB converter, and just every now and again it goes out. I'm going to just move my camera a funny angle again because I can tell that from that angle I'm going to be getting my head in the way quite a bit. So right, let's go back to 703. So one of the things I mentioned quite a bit is about, you know how people go, oh, I want to get through this quickly, and I don't quite agree with that, because if you're doing a hobby that's chilling you out, then surely you want it to last longer. Although I think most of us are chilled out in general by just the diamond painting. I think most of us you can put any old crap, you put a picture you don't particularly love, and it's just the actions of us doing diamond painting, and it's the way it focuses your mind. But I'm starting to get to the point on this where I do want to get it finished. Probably because I've ordered other ones. I think there's a lot of excitement in starting a new one. But then starting a new one, to me, usually, because I start in the top corners. Does everyone else start in the top corners? I know there's some people who start at the bottom, and I can see the sense in that. Some sense, not total sense, but yeah, it's because I start in the top corners, and the top corners is usually where all the boringness is. You know, there's nothing that exciting. I mean, I'll show you. I can't show you the picture, but in the top left of this is blurred out building, and in the top right is sky. So there's an awful lot of block. So you've got to do a few hours worth of diamond paint before you start to get to the main picture. The snow bus that I'm doing next, can you see there's a hell of a lot of boring. Well, that looks quite interesting where the snow is. See, there's snowflakes in the wind. But you see it's quite a lot of boringness around until you get to the actual subject. And that is purposely set to the left a little bit because I wanted that little bus in the background. The wolf that I'm doing, quite a lot of boringness around the corner. And it's just the way it is, you know, unless, you know, maybe it's worth getting an oval and then put a black line around it and miss out the corners. I don't know. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's just the way it is. With any corner, you have, unless you have something so close up that you cut half of the picture out. I think that's all my ones done. I will come back to him because there's some ones in that corner, but I want to just knock a lot of that off. There's an awful lot of big area of stickiness there. So yeah, right, let's do a bit of a catch up. I know I'm right. That's what makes a good stream. I am very special, yes, and not in the yellow bus kind of way. And then Natasha says, "Hi, love minis." So right, let's start from that side with 701s, which I've done 701s before. So no panic over the number of drills left over, because I know I'm very, very close to the end now. Well, I say no panic, you know me, less panic, I think is probably more appropriate. But because I've got that bag of 447, whatever they're called, I know I've got a few drills left over. I'll have some spares, I mean. Hang on, I don't think I've cut the rivers out of this. So I have to turn the light out to see the rivers. Yeah, good job I checked that. I really need to change this blade. I'm cutting a lot of, because where I cut the release paper, normally I find the line that I want to follow, and I'll do 2 light passes with a knife because it's so sharp, and this is a metal casing. A lot of times you can cut just with the weight of the knife. I'm now starting to find it's taken 2 or 3 passes with actually having to press it. So, and it's really bad to have. This is one of those knives where it's it'll make anything feel like butter when it's brand new. It's an actual surgeon's blade. It's the same blades that surgeons use. That's how good it is. But it's more dangerous when it's not. You know, if it's only like 90% perfect, it's actually quite dangerous because it's no longer sharp. But it will spend most of its life at that point where it's not perfectly sharp, but it's still sharp enough to do damage. So you have to be really, really careful. That's part of the reason why I have a retractable knife. Saying that, I have a retractable knife, but I leave it on the table like this. So, but I've also got the way that this body is designed. It's a little bit heavy at the back, so if you drop it, it's more likely to turn that way and hit you with that rounded. You don't want that going through your foot, but obviously you don't want to get hit in the foot with that rounded edge. But I'd rather get hit with that heavy rounded edge than the sharp pointy bit. So Penny, how many of these paintings have you done now? Far too many could be argued, but of the ones that are surviving, I've probably got about 6 or 8 of them. I'm a little bit gutted that I lost the bus one, and I am going to hunt that down, and I'm going to find it, and I'm going to buy it again. I've got in a box somewhere all the drills for it, and I know it's a Victoria Moon one. I'm sure it's a Victoria Moon one, because the way they do their drills, if you get from Smith's Beads, you get X number of bags. So for example, hashtag is 823. You see, I've got 12 bags. With Victoria Moon, you get a big bag of drills, and it tells you the weight in grams. So you might get 12.7 or 0.5. And I know that's how the bags is. So you get like 35 bags. Some bags are tiny, some bags are massive. And it's good if you like the big bags, because their big bags tend to be those little resealable ones. So, but if it was see, I've lost it in the wrong way. If I lost the drills but found the canvas, that's not a problem because I can just buy drills. But now what I've got to do is I've got to find the canvas, buy that, and then that will come with the drills, which I know I've already got somewhere. So I'm going to end up with about 58 pots of red drills. Oh, I hear a beep. Yeah. So Natasha said, sorry, Natasha, it's too late. You missed a chance now. How are you, Natasha?
I'm all right, just a bit
More
of a sore
importantly,
throat.
obviously, I didn't tell everyone what happened, but how you feeling?
Bit of a sore throat, so if my voice goes in and out, you know why.
Oh, so we might have a good show then, will we?
Yeah.
I know that was mean. That was mean for anything, wasn't it?
That's all right.
Way out of it. Maybe I deserve a little 30-second time out there. Moderators.
I've not long got in, so.
Yeah. That's good. I did see your picture the other day. I know I've said to you on the stream, I think you've done really well on that.
Which one?
All that pink you did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't done any since.
Have you not?
No, not since.
Do we need to get the whip out and motivate you a little bit more?
Well, it is. Yesterday, Tuesdays are my busy days. Busy day of the week, so I can't really do any on a Tuesday.
That's the way it goes. Do you have, are you one of these lucky ones with a kind of life that you could have one day where you go and like, sod everyone, I'm doing my diamond painting today?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so lucky. I wish I had a life like that. Just one day where you could do whatever you want.
Yeah, I get a few days in a week unless I get called in to help out on the show props for them. So
Right. Okay.
Like I am Friday.
Right, so that is all the 701s I've got left, but I've only got this little square. I've done 701 is E, and all of the E's are done except for what's underneath there. So that's at least how many spare I've got. Well, up to that many spare. Plus I've got another bag to go in because I'm pretty sure I haven't done the 701 from the 477s. 447. Teresa says, hi, Tash.
Hi, T.
Oh, do we have you a bit late? That's good. Can I still get all of what I'm... Yeah, there we go. It's the only trouble with having more than one person is that you've got to...
Yeah, mess around. I'm in the dark, so I'm in the hallway going to make a coffee.
Sounds like my life, really, being kept in the dark.
Isn't it?
I have been described as a mushroom, not because I'm a fun guy, but because I'm kept in the dark and fed on bullshit. Oh, I might be moving.
Moving? What do you mean moving?
Yeah, I got a call this morning. Yeah. I've inherited a house.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, one of them lovely scams.
Pardon?
One of them lovely scams.
No. I've inherited a house. My great aunt died.
Oh, no.
She's left me a place called Sod Hall.
I've heard that joke.
I don't know if I told you that joke before now, actually.
Oh, I know that joke because I always said Sod Hall instead of Sod Hall.
Yeah.
And it was sent to me as a joke once, and I knew all about it.
Well, that really works with my sense of humour because I like to be really serious. I have a bit of a serious story, and then I hit with a funny punchline at the end. The trouble is, while I'm saying the main story, people are going, oh, I'm ever so sorry. Oh, because I told that joke to a few of my customers. And they're all interrupting me going, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. And I'm like, yeah, never mind. Let's just carry on. Like, right, so I've been left this house and I might have to leave my job. Oh, no, don't leave. No, look, shut up. Right, so I'm like, yeah, it's a place called Sod Hall. And then half of them just look at me and go, oh, where's that? Is that in Scotland?
Yeah, as soon as you said Sod Hall, I knew exactly what you meant by then. I've had that joke sent to me because I always say Sod Hall instead of Sod Hall.
Yeah.
Birds are going mental.
Are they? Is that because you've only just come in the door?
Yeah.
Have you spent any time with them?
Pardon?
Have you spent any time with them since you come in the house?
Well, can you hear the boys?
Yeah. Have you spent any time with them since you walked in the house?
Yeah.
Good. That's all right then, because your budgies. I'm not putting us down or my viewers, but I think your budgies are a bit more important than us. We can delay you coming on for 5 minutes. Because obviously they have a bit of a routine, don't they? They sound lovely, actually.
That's the boys. As soon as they hear me about, that's
Didn't
it.
you say that the boys didn't sing so much? And they've recently sort of settled in?
Yeah.
Because I do believe, I'm not trying to have I'm so clever moment, but I think I did say to you, or once they settled in,
That's Simba.
Because you've only had them a matter of weeks, haven't you?
I've had them about now 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, so you can't expect them to be, oh, this is lovely. This is my new home for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, can you?
No.
Whereas the girls you've had them for ages, so they'll be fairly settled. But even that might be out of sorts a bit because you've just given them a new home, and it's much, much bigger. It's about the size of Sod Hall.
Yep.
Well.
And there's the girlies. Minnie's hiding. She's playing peekaboo.
Oh, yeah, you said before she hides up there. So it looks like you've done really well with that big cage, haven't you?
Yep. Built it. I'm still tempted to merge the boys in with them, though.
What's that?
I'm still tempted to merge the boys in with them, though.
Will you end up with extra budgies if you do that?
Not if I have any kind of nesting boxes in there.
Right. So if you went down that road, and I know from not from budgies, but I know from personal experience that's not as easy as it sounds.
No.
Could that easily get out of control, like my hamsters did?
Could do, but all I'd have to do is remove the eggs.
Right.
Which isn't fair on the eggs.
No. But would you then run the risk of the baby boys becoming fathers very quickly?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is. Yeah. It's a hard one to work out.
See, I remember when I had the hamsters, the sexing hamsters before about 6 or 8 weeks old is extremely difficult.
Same with budgies. You can't, unless you're really, really up there for knowing what they are straight away. Some people can do it straight away.
It's hard with hamsters because isn't really anything that visible to see. In fact, actually, the girls tend to have bigger lumpy bits than the boys.
Bigger lumpy bits.
Well, that's the way you see it. It's like there's a lump there.
Yeah.
Or 2 lumps. It's like having a cup of tea, 1 lump or 2.
True.
But when something is very tiny as an adult, and now you're looking at it as a baby, it's even smaller.
Yeah. So I am nervous about doing it.
All right.
But I don't know.
Is it worth maybe... Are they? I don't know. I don't even know if you're interested, but see, I know with dogs, if you've got a fine specimen of an animal, you can lend your dog to a breeder, and then you tend to get pick of the litter as a payment. The breeder then obviously sells the puppies.
Yeah.
Because obviously they can't keep using their own dogs because otherwise you get a bit of incest, don't you?
Yeah.
But I believe that's the way it works. I know when we got Weimaraner years ago and my mum was interested in that. The only trouble was you can't take the dog back to the original breeder because that's kind of the whole point of them finding another dog. And there weren't many Weimaraner breeders. There's only about 3 good ones in the whole of the UK. And I think the nearest one would involve an overseas vet, like Isle of Wight or something like that.
Yeah.
Ireland. Ireland apparently is a good place to get animals from because they take their animals quite seriously, don't they?
Yeah, true. That's what you want, though, isn't it? When you
Yeah,
take.
yeah. It's a lot of faff and hassle. I mean, imagine bringing it. Probably not so bad in Scotland because I'm told there's really good transport links with Ireland because there's a huge Irish contingent in Glasgow.
All right.
But can you imagine going out and getting a six? Well, how old do puppies have to be now before you can take them? Is it 6 weeks?
8 weeks, I think.
8 weeks. Imagine bringing an 8-week puppy home on a ferry. Because
Oh,
I guess they put them in the cargo hold, don't they? Because you can't have it on the passenger seat.
no.
So you got this. Imagine the distress on the puppy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I could do that to.
No. I suppose it wouldn't be so bad if you bought 2 or 3. But even so, 1 minute there's mum. I mean, it's bad enough just bringing them in the car.
True.
But that usually just zonks them out, doesn't it? It's so much newness going on, they just end up sleeping.
True.
But no, can you imagine being pulled away from your mum and dad and then shoved in a dark box for a few hours? Right, Teresa, that picture I sent you last night was a painting I'd done of my son and his girlfriend and my grandson a couple of years ago. That was, yes, you did say about the Mod Podge. That's why I'm really keen on sealing it. I don't know if I can show you, but just from having this, I don't know if you can see all those drills that have popped. That's just from manoeuvring the painting. So the sooner I can get this Mod Podged, but because a lot of the drills are lifting, I've got to sort of push them all down and then get it sealed before they decide to lift again. So I got a feeling it's going to be a tougher job than I think it is. And this might make you laugh. I don't know if you can see it, but the end of this pen, where I drill quite hard, is lopsided.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can't get a photo.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's not level. So there we go. I'm actually going to mark it with a pen because I have to use this way. If I do it this way, I end up having to work like this, and it's really awkward. And then obviously I put the pen down, get some new drills out. So I think I'm going to mark it with a pen, but I can't find a mark. I've got a Sharpie somewhere. There are loads of Sharpies somewhere, but I seem to have lost every single one of them.
Sharpies always like hiding.
Yeah, especially in my house. So in my world, bit of exciting news. I've now got the wall bracket for my TV.
That's good.
I'm not. Don't know if I'm really liking it. It's rated for about. Well, you saw it on Amazon, didn't you? Was it rated for 40 or 50 kilograms?
Something like that.
My TV is like 13 kilograms.
Yeah.
It does say it on the box how heavy it is, and I know it's not heavy because I can lift it. Reference back to what I said about me being not very strong. Now I know 25 kilograms is the alleged health and safety maximum amount you can lift, and I know what 25 kilograms feels like, and that telly is not anywhere near that much. But you've got the actual bracket bit that sticks to the wall isn't very big.
Yeah.
And it's got 3 screw holes. And when you fully extend the arm, it comes out quite far. Now, I do know a little bit about physics. That if you have a plate like this, it's trying to distribute the weight evenly. If you have the TV in like that, it's going to be holding that weight fairly evenly. If you pull the telly out, it's pushing more weight at the front, which is then pulling more on the top. So it's more likely to pull out of the wall from the top. Which is this all right? Me saying, "Oh, it's all right. I've got that 3-year accidental damage warranty, and I'm pretty sure that if I say, yeah, the wall bracket fell off the wall, that would be enough to cover it because it is accidental damage, isn't it? Accidental, as in I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No
But
idea.
This is why I'm not putting it up myself, because A, I don't have the knowledge, and B, I have a little slight tendency to go, well, that's close enough. And I think when you're dealing with TV, I mean, it's not massively expensive, and I could probably replace it, but Sod's Law says I'll have a bit of a financial crisis and I'll spend all my money on bills and stuff, and that's when the telly will go.
Yeah.
Just at that point, I'll have a big nasty MOT. I'll get most of my savings depleted, or most of my rainy day fund, and then I'll, if I do want to replace it, if I've got any money, it'll be out of my savings if I've got that, which I want to really prove myself, because I'm saving 2 pots of money, one which I'm calling rainy day fund, and one I'm calling savings. I've worked out how much money I could save up in 5 years, and I've said to myself, we all know that I won't save that much money because something will come along and I'll spend the money, but I kind of want to try and prove myself wrong. Although I am getting a motorbike in March. By March I'm going to have enough money to get a reasonable motorbike.
Yeah.
And I am going to get a motorbike. I'm a little bit, I have thought about this, because when I lived in Aylesbury, what I did was I bought a motorbike and got rid of the car. Now, that meant with tax, insurance and running costs and stuff like that, it was a damn sight cheaper than running a car. The only trouble is I will still ride a bike in the wet. I'm not one of these pussies who don't, fair weather riders. But I will not ride a bike in the ice.
No, I don't think I would.
No. So you will get, on average in the UK, there's about 2 weeks a year when if you sort of budget for 2 weeks of not being able to ride the bike, you ain't going to be far off. So what I did was I saved up enough money to hire a car for 2 weeks. And it actually works out cheaper to have a bike and then hire a car for 2 weeks than it is to run a car for 12 months. And I was thinking about that in Scotland, but the weather can be quite treacherous up here. It can be treacherous anywhere, but obviously Scotland is a little bit known. It just seems in Scotland that when, like, you go somewhere like Birmingham, when the weather's bad, the weather's bad. But in Scotland, when the weather's bad, it's quite terrible.
Yeah.
And there seems to be an absolute abundance of wind, which isn't a problem on the bike, especially a big bike. But it does mean that you get all these weather changes coming in very quickly. It can be raining, then the sun comes out, then it's snowing, and then something foggy, and then something else happens, and that's all in one day.
Okay.
So I'm wondering whether the bike is sensible. But then 95% of my travel to work, I think I'm about, depends on which way I go, it's either 15 or 20 miles to work, and probably only about half a mile of that is on a non-bus route or non-motorway. Most of my travel's motorway. I come out of my house, I go left, and I'm on a bus route. I turn left again, down some dual carriageway. Next roundabout, turn left, more dual carriageway. Hang a right, I'm on the M77, and then I can either cut through Govan and then jump onto the M8, or I can just follow the M77 down to the M74, do a U-turn, and I'm on the M8. And it's pretty much all motorway until I turn off just roundabout, just past Glasgow Airport, and then there's a not too bad road, but it's a bus route anyway. So that was a little bit vague, I understand, but
No, that's all right.
but it's fairly decent traveling to work, even on a motorbike. So right, let's do some catching up. The boys, hope you can see the bump. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that one, we haven't needed to. Right. Yeah. I've got to be honest with you. If anybody looks at this and goes, "Oh, that's first Smith's beads. It's got pop and drills and short and this, that, and the other," I don't think any of it is Smith's beads' fault. So don't think because I'm having issues. A lot of these issues are what's the word I'm looking for? Self-created. Running short on drills is my fault because I'm so, when I'm tipping the drills out, I'm probably tipping them too far, and then a couple of them go. And the pop and drills, if you'll notice that most of the pop and drills are on the top end, and that's obviously where I've got back in the flow of it. I've been using the ruler, and it's getting these drills in nice and tight with each other, but not too tight. Whereas the top, where I started it all off freehand, it's kind of knocked out of it's not, some of them aren't quite in right. So I've got a little bit, but you'll notice that most of the poppiness is up high rather than down low. So yeah. So any issues I've got with this, I really honestly, hand on heart, don't feel I can blame anyone other than me. Does that sound fair, Natasha?
Yeah, because we all do self-inflicted stuff on our pictures.
Self-inflicted, because self-inflicted sounds like I've done it on purpose, but
well, you know what I mean. Like, I do it, accidents, isn't it? When you don't.
Yeah.
You're not fully.
Right, I'm going to do all these twos next. I'm going to take that bit of paper off. And I think that's most of the actual bust done then. So apologise if you can't see everything. The trouble is with these camera angles, I can either get my head in the way or the hand in the way. So I'll keep an eye on the time. 20 past. It sounds like I've got tons of time. But I was working on that other one. I got quite far actually. But I was like, it was about 12 o'clock and I thought, oh, I'll have this done. And then the next thing I know, it's 1:45 and I could probably use another hour. So I've got a few little dotty bits which probably aren't going to end up getting done today. By the time I've done me Eddie Stobart, and it's probably going to be time for bed. I'm really going to try and get Eddie Stobart done on a half an hour show. To make it consistent with, because all my Eddie Stobarts are usually pre-recorded,
Right.
So they're a little bit shorter because I'm not sitting there chit-chatting for 3 hours, and I want to try and get my live. Obviously it won't be the same as pre-recorded because people will watch, people will ask questions, and I'm not going to ignore people, but someone might sit there in 6 months' time and go, oh, I've just got Eddie Stobart. Oh, right, let's watch Penny's entire series of Eddie Stobart. And then all of a sudden they've got this one simple part that is 15 hours long. So, yeah. So I'm assuming you have a clean bill of health then, seeing as you're home.
Yeah, it's just
Just you were silly enough to forget your inhaler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will you do that again? Probably yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because you just forget how much you've got in your inhaler. That's all it is. And then you think, oh, there might be a bit in there. And
Yeah.
But you don't twig.
I'm not normally scared of doctors and nurses, but I've been asked to go to the doctor for my asthma review.
Yeah.
And last time I went to see her, I said, oh, yeah, I'm really getting on. I said, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand why you're telling me to use my brown inhaler 4 times a day to save me using the blue one once or twice a week.
Because you might need more steroid than the blue one. But I'm the same. I've got to use the steroid more.
Yeah, she gave me some complicated medically type answer as well. But I'm kind of looking at more on a wasting NHS's money point of view.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, well, fair enough. It's not just a case of I'm not using my blue inhaler as much. I'm actually feeling a lot better when I don't need either inhaler.
Yeah.
But I've forgotten to use my brown one so much. I know I'm going to get told off because I should have theoretically ordered a repeat prescription by now.
Yeah.
And I've still got about half left on the inhaler. In fact, I probably should have been on my second repeat prescription by now. And she's obviously going to know that I've not ordered because this all will be on medical records, won't it?
Yeah.
She'll know I've not ordered.
Yeah, sure.
Unless I lie to her and say, well, actually, I just thought I'd make it easier for everyone, and I bought them online from one of these dodgy online chemists. But then why would I spend money on an online dodgy chemist?
Yeah.
When I get free prescriptions.
Right.
So, but you know what? I'm still not getting used to that. Everybody gets free prescriptions in Scotland, and first time I had a prescription, it was when I had that dizzy spell, and the doctor prescribed me some tablets. I went to pick them up from the chemist. She ever so nice. She said, what chemist would you like it sent to? I said, I don't know. What's the closest one? I'll send it to the one round the corner from you. So I walked down there, picked this prescription up. And it was all ready for me. I went, right, how much do I owe you then? And she went, nothing. I went, no, that's right. I go, I said, it's been a while since I had a prescription. I said, how much are the prescriptions now? It must be hitting a tenner. And she went, it's free. I went, what? She went, yeah, you get free prescriptions in Scotland. I said, but I ain't got a medical condition. She goes, no, everyone gets free prescriptions. I'm like, okay then. So I kind of took the attitude of I grabbed it before she changed her mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone in Scotland gets free prescription. And I think that's genius. Well, I was listening to something on Radio 4. Yes, I listen to Radio 4, guys. And I do quite enjoy it. And they had this show about people who have long-term conditions but don't get free prescriptions. Now, my mum used to get free prescriptions because she was diabetic. Yeah. But it turns out if you have a transplant, you don't get free prescriptions, even though you are now on anti-rejection medications for the rest of your life.
Okay.
I know. And they had this case study. They had this university student. And what she's actually doing is she's taking half of the dosage of her anti-rejection medications just so she can afford everything.
Yeah.
Now that's borderline stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they prescribe you, I don't know what they prescribe you, but if they prescribed you 10 milligrams, then there's a reason you prescribed 10 milligrams, isn't it? Because if you could manage on 5 milligrams, wouldn't they have prescribed you 5 milligrams?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when the doctor says to you, take 2 puffs of your inhaler, if you only needed one, they'd have told you to take one, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So, but what they were saying, they had some. So, well, they said they were experts. I don't know. I can't back up their credentials. But they said that spending extra money on prescriptions will actually save A&E departments a lot of money, because prevention is cheaper than cure. So if you're getting free prescriptions, you will keep up to date with your meds. You then won't fall ill, and you won't be rushed into A&E, so you won't have that. I mean, I don't know what an ambulance costs the NHS, but you know, they're highly trained people, so they're not going to be on £5 an hour, are they?
No.
So, you know, when you look at all the nurse costs and the hospital costs and the ambulance costs, probably cheaper just to give you a free prescription. And it makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot more sense.
Right, I am seeing lots of lovely new names. Right, Love Minnie says, I got my wild kittens one state over. They screamed their way home, little over an hour and a half drive. Oh, but that ain't a bad screaming all the way home, is it? I love it when little kittens are like, because they have that funny little noise. It's not a real meow, is it?
No.
It's more of a pathetic little attempt at making a noise, isn't it? See, now adult cats, if they want feeding in the middle of the night and they're in a grumpy mood, now they can scream, can't they?
God, yeah.
Right, I am starting to change cats' feeding time due to up and coming time change. Oh, but that's going to be fun, isn't it? So are they gonna start singing the song of my bowl is only half full? How am I going to manage you start trying to starve me? Teresa, I saw a product on Amazon that's called Crystal Clear. Do you know anything about it? Right. Let's do the world a service, and we will do a little search on that. Ding! Someone loves me. You love me, and Sharon loves me. Right, let's get. Oh, hang on, I've got to find this keyboard. It's buried under paperwork. Right, we just know we aren't going to get this done today, don't we?
But
right, so it's called. Is it Crystal Clear spelt normally?
I don't know.
I'm getting skincare soothing cleansing gel. Could it be with a K, perhaps? Oh, epoxy. Is this the stuff, Love Minis? Oh, hang on. It would actually help if I shared the screen, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you got to do your new thing now.
Right. Is that it? It's called Crystal Clear with a Crystal Clear. No, I think that's more the description. Crystal Clear filter pop. See, trouble is stuff like Crystal Clear, they use it as a description, don't they? Oh, we are transparent. This must be it. Transparent glue, epoxy UV resin. So this is the stuff that you put the glue on, and you have to put a UV light on, otherwise it will never set. I think that's the one. I did. I think this. Sorry, I just had the. Yeah. All right. Just got a little bit off track there. Yeah, I did try. There's some glue you can get that you get a little. You get a little UV torch with it, but I just found it crap. I don't know if I think I had a bad batch, so I might use it again. But the first time I tried it, it's crap. So, Penny, you need to get a bike, because sooner than you know it, You'll be too old with health. Well, do you know what? It's funny you say that, because with the biking world comes trikes, and there's a big old thing going on about, you know, like people are into trikes and that, and converting bikes into trikes.
Yeah.
And it's very handy if you can't, for whatever reason, have two wheels. You know, that maybe you've got a disability in your leg,
Yeah.
you know, or you bust your leg or whatever. Get yourself a trike. And if you can't handle the pedals, then you can move them up onto the handlebars or somewhere. You know, it's all stuff you can do. And I've always kind of, I'll use the word scoff, but I haven't really scoffed it, because it's, you know, it's still a sort of bike, isn't it?
Yeah.
But now that I'm a bit older, and I seem to have, I'm not ill, but I feel the effect. It's like today I went to bed and I actually felt worse getting up. I must have slept funny. And that's it. When you're young, if you sleep a bit funny, you walk about for about half an hour and you're fine again. You know, so, but now I'm starting to, if I sleep just ever so funny on my leg, I'm in pain for 2 days. So it's kind of becoming a reality that I might well need some alternative to two wheels at some point in my future. So you know, maybe I should get a bike, but actually learn how to convert them into trikes, just in case.
Yeah.
Laura, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to skip your comment. It's not really something. I mean, that's really bad, but bad news. It's something I don't really want to bring the subject up. It's a bit grim if you kind of get what I mean. I was going to say more accidental than inflicted. Or is that about the mistakes on the DP, self-inflicted? Yeah.
I come out with wrong words.
Yeah. So Kate says about Haribo, is that, yeah, I hope it's not true. Seems, yeah, this is why I don't really want to bring it up. There's a lot of opinions about that, but yeah. I mean, obviously it's really sad, and I'll drop Sharon a little message, maybe Haribo as well. Right, Chris Davis, hi Natasha, and love Minnie's good. Chris says looking fantastic. Penny, I know Chris really did like my last episode of the fire truck, because Chris is a funny one. He always drops a little comment. I'm not saying it's devalued because he always says the comment, but he always says, "Oh, looking good," or "looking fantastic," and it's really lovely. But he actually sent me a text message as well, to say, "Oh, just seen your video. It looks really good." So I know he really liked it, because he doesn't usually drop me a text message just to say, "I loved your video." So I can just imagine him sitting there watching it and going, "Oh, wow, this is brilliant. I'll drop." No, that's not enough. I need to tell her personally, right? I'm sending her a text message. So yeah, that was hugely appreciated. When Chris, I'm not saying drop me a text message every single time, but yeah, when you drop me a message, I know you liked it. Mark Fit, hello everybody. Hope we all fine and dandy today. Well, you must be using words like that. Have you suddenly been sucked back to the 1800s? Everything's fine and dandy, or 60s, more like that, isn't it? No, I love it. Right. Love minis. I've heard of it, but not had any so far. Yeah, like if we. Oh, so yeah, you said yeah. Is that the stuff you mean then? This transparent glue, UV resin. Maybe that's something. It's only about 7 or 8 quid, so I might give it a little look. It comes in, this one I found, it comes in 10 grams, 25 grams, 60 and 100, but the 10 grams is only £1 cheaper than the 25 grams, so forget that. The 60 gram is £2 more than the 25. but the 100 looks superb, but that looks more like a refill. So I might, yeah, for £7 something, I might give that a look. Do you get, I don't know, do you get all the UV-ness with it? You got to find the UV light. Maybe I'll get that and we'll try that out on a stream one day. The UV resin you use, like nail polish drying UV light, yeah. No problem, Penny. Fire truck is well impressive. Mark Fit, like to brighten up the day. Do you know what, Mark? You are one of these people where I could be going, do you know what? My day's wonderful. It couldn't get any better. And then you'll come along and I'll go, oh no, he's just proven me wrong. It can get better. The world is a better place with you around, and everyone else, obviously. So, yeah, what do you reckon to that glue then, Natasha?
What glue?
That, yeah. Oh, say you're not even listening without saying you're not listening.
Exactly. Was listening, but not listening.
So Love Minis has said about this crystal clear glue. It's a glue, but you have to activate it with a UV light, the same sort of light you put your nails under.
Yeah.
It's the UV that makes it go hard. One of the good things about that is it has an incredibly good working time, because it just doesn't set ever until you stick a UV light on. And once you stick a UV light on, it's done in seconds.
Okay.
So if you ever working with UV glue, don't just go, oh, it's a nice day. I'll sit in the back garden and do some work with the glue, because the sun will set it.
Yeah, because that's UV as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Basically, if you put your reaction sunglasses on and they're going dark, it's probably not a good time to use the glue. But yeah, it's got to be worth. I mean, look, it's one of those things. You know, if you said to me, "Oh, here's something that looks like it might be good use," and it's like 50 quid, I probably wouldn't buy that to experiment with. But I'll certainly have a look. But if you talked about using it as yeah, Teresa's just jumped in there. Look, must have been typing as we said it. Unless you stick the UV under natural sunlight. Can't wait till live on Stobart. I had UV a few years ago and got a machine with it. Depends on what you go for. The only thing that I'm thinking of is it's £13.71 for 100 grams. How much would you get through? Would you want to spend £13 every diamond painting to seal it? Especially if the results aren't that much more amazing than something like Mod Podge or PVA glue. Yeah, it might be a great product, but it might not be cost effective.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm getting there with this. It's 3:30. Got about an hour and a half. It's going to be close, but I think I can do this. Penny, you can do it.
You can.
You can do it when you B&Q it.
Yep.
Right, all the papers off now, so now it's time to get really serious.
Is it serious, Penny, on painting?
It's really serious time now. So this is going to be the last time I use this. This is 702, which is quite possibly one of my new favourite colours.
Is it?
Yes, before I did this, I didn't ever really get excited about greens, but now I am. But again, it's all about the colour blending, isn't it? Because you can see all the different greens in here. and no one green seems to be dominant. I don't really. I said that I think the main work is coming from 90 something. 9 is I don't know. It's one of the other greens.
Yeah.
Not the 701, 702, 703, which you would think is doing the main work, but it's not. But they're all kind of blending together.
They do, don't they?
And that's what is making it lovely. But this other one I'm doing someone's forehead at the moment.
Oh yeah.
No, that's the part that I'm up to. It's not the subject of the diamond painting. Oh, here's your forehead. But that's the part I'm up to.
Right.
And there's a big section of grey green, right, which is more of a sort of a zombie colour, isn't it?
I suppose so.
It's more the colour of dead flesh than someone happy on a happy day in their life.
Yeah.
But as you then build the other colours around it, and then the pinks start to come in,
yeah,
it actually looks really good.
It does, doesn't it? It
when I
starts coming together.
Yeah, once I get the face in, and it'll suddenly put the forehead into some kind of context, it will look. I know it'll look fantastic, because a lot of the areas on this Flixbus, I'm like, I'm not really sure about that. I think the best example was the blinds, the destination blinds. I think we were all a bit worried about that, weren't we?
Yeah.
And it was a lot duller than we thought it was going to be.
But it worked out wonders in the end.
I think it looks smashing. Absolutely smashing. And also, you got to remember that when you convert them from a photo, if you've got any filters or automatic things, like if you've got a camera that reduces brightnesses,
yeah,
then that's going to reflect on your diamond painting.
Right.
But it is pretty much true to the photo that I've taken.
Yeah.
You know, do you get that a lot, Mike, Teresa? Oh, it don't look good. Well, yeah, but it does actually look exactly like the photo you've sent us. I know some people do complain about some really stupid stuff.
Yeah, not me there.
I was watching some TikTok video, some candid. Yeah, I know it must be true because it's on TikTok. Because there's nothing fake on TikTok, is there?
No.
Like for example,
if it's on Facebook, it's got to be true as well.
Well, that's it. You know, it's like these people that are microwaving these gummy bears, and they go up, they increase 10 times the size. You know, must be true. It's on Facebook.
Yeah.
No, this woman, she does handmade candles, and when you order, she chucks in a couple of freebies. That's quite a common thing to do, isn't it? A little thank you for ordering and help my struggling business. Here's a couple of freebies. This woman apparently has contacted her and said, well, you've sent me stuff I haven't ordered. She's like, yeah, they're little freebies I put in as a thank you. Oh, well, I don't want them. Can I send them back and get some money back? You know, it's like, you didn't pay for them, so how much are you expecting back? I don't
get that.
I don't know why people are so ungrateful.
I think it's, I don't know. But there's a lot of people like it, aren't they, really?
It's like, but like, I'll give you a good example, right? So the company, excuse the mess of it because it has been well used. Every time you buy something from the company I buy my scale model kits from, they always chuck in a coaster. All right, and there's the coaster that, as I say, it's well used. All right, and you always get that free. Now, they don't have to send that coaster. They don't have to send anything other than what you paid for.
certificate.
do they? But they send
No.
them, and they will send you one every single time you order. So all those that are ordering like every week, they're getting a coaster every week. And I'm getting a few coasters. I got one in the car that it fell out of the bag as I was looking. But yeah, but the joke we have, what we tend to do is on his Facebook page, when we receive an order, we take a photo, a little Facebook post page, and usually along the lines of thanks Team Mike, got my order of a coaster today, and he's even throwing some scale models for free as well. And I did one once. I'd done rather a large order. It cost me over £100. And I remember posting. It was when I did my Hawkeye and my Greyhound, and I put like, thanks Team Mike. Very expensive coasters these days, cost me over £1, but he did buffer it a bit by chucking in 2 fabulous kits for free. And that's kind of the joke that we make on the group. And we comment on how quickly we can, because there's a guy called Danny who does the packing. We sort of wind him up. And if you say it was easy to open, I absolutely guarantee you he will put more tape round it next time. And I remember someone saying, I think they were a newish customer, and they said, oh, it was a nice, easy package to get into. And there was about 4 of us going, no, delete that comment now, otherwise you'll regret it. And then Danny chirped up and he went, oh, okay, next time I'll put more packing material on it. And then everyone else was replying and going, uh-oh, too late. But he did that with me once. I said, I was a bit stupid, but it was funny. And I said I'd got into this package quite easily. I got in less than 2 minutes. And he just replied back, I guarantee you won't next time. And I just went, challenge accepted. Yeah.
And did you say it ever since?
No. Every single bit of that box was covered in probably about 3 layers of that, that brown packing tape.
Yeah.
It covered every single millimeter of it, at least twice. I mean, the thing is, I've got a good knife, so I just cut through it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a hassle. But the trouble is, I tried to cut through carefully.
Yeah.
So I actually like it when some of the box is exposed, so I can see where the top and the bottom and where the joins are. Mike's boxes are great to open because it'll be sealed like this. This is a Mike box. No, it's not a Mike box. This is actually an Amazon box, but Mike's are very similar. So you can see where you need to cut. So it's well sealed, but you cut along there, and then cut along the top. It then pops open. So it's that good combination of well packaged, but easy, doesn't take you half an hour to get in. And no, Mike, I'm not saying challenge me next time.
Oh no, it'll be worse.
No. Just so long as it gets to me in one piece. I mean, some people, they can, do you know what? Once when I was doing courier work, I had this woman, there was a couple of creases in the box, right? And she absolutely refused to sign for the parcel until she'd opened it and checked it. So I'm absolutely refusing to give it to her until she signed for it. And I'm trying to explain to her, no, my job is delivering the box. If there's a problem with the order, you need to get in touch with the seller, who will then arrange for return or whatever. Yeah. Right? You are only signing to say you have received a box. You're not even signing for the contents, because we don't even know what's in the box. No. The only time we ever know what's in the box is if we know who the seller is. So obviously, like Marks and Spencer's wines, you know, we can make a reasonable guess what's in the box. And if there's flowers sticking out the top and it comes from Marks and Spencer's fresh flowers, well, you can make a fair guess on that one, can't you?
Yeah, true.
But if it's a plain brown box that just says sender Acme or whatever it's called, you know, ABC distribution, you got no idea what's in there. So you just, all your job as a courier is delivering a brown box or a black box or a white box.
Whatever
You're not
box
delivering. Yeah. So and I used to have one of our sellers. It was ever so fun. It started off, he had a couple of boxes he puts his fragile tape on.
Yeah.
Right? And I used to take extra care of the ones that were marked as fragile. But over time, he was putting more and more fragile tape on till he got to the point where every single box he sent out had fragile tape written on it. So then that just kind of takes the care out.
Yeah.
You know, if you know some of them are fragile and some aren't, you'll really take care of the ones that are fragile.
Yeah.
And you'll arrange them in your van maybe so that the fragile ones are a bit more protected. When they all say fragile, he just shoves the fragile tape on every single one. You've then got a bit of an attitude of, well, they probably aren't fragile. And half of them weren't. You know, someone orders a book, fragile tape.
God.
I can just imagine the reviews. What's that?
I bet they went through that tape. I bet they spent almost their money on that tape more.
I reckon they probably had a deal on. I reckon they probably had a deal from their supplier on fragile tape.
Yeah.
But yeah, got no idea how we got to this particular conversation, but yeah, I do remember this woman. She absolutely refused to sign until she'd opened the box, and I absolutely refused to give her the box until she signed for it. And she had me there about 10 minutes, and she wouldn't let me go. And in the end, I just went, right. She wouldn't let me shut the doors. So I said, all right, fair enough. I'll shove it in the cab then. And I put it in the front of the van, locked the door, by which time then she goes running to the front. So I then shut the back, and then I get in and I go. And I just put on it, customer refuses to sign, parcel not delivered. She was a little bit sheepish when I went back the next day.
Yeah.
Because she tried to put a complaint in that I refused to. She said I refused to deliver the parcel, and I got back to the depot. He said apparently you refused to deliver the parcel. I went, yeah. She went, why? She said because she won't sign for it. And she goes, well, apparently she was willing to take the parcel. I said, no, she refused to sign for the parcel until she's opened up the package. I said, here's a scenario for you, right? Supposing she opened up that package, found an item damaged, and refused the parcel. So then I've got this parcel which I haven't delivered. I turn up back at yard with a parcel that's been opened. How do you know who's actually opened that parcel?
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. Because especially these days, you get a lot of these stories of dishonest couriers. How do you distinguish yourself from one of the dishonest ones? And everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody's got a bad courier story. It might be, I mean, your courier might be brilliant, but you caught him on a bad day. I know I've done the parcel thrown over the fence trick before. If there's nowhere else, because basically I'm a little bit too. If you've got, say for example, if you've got a front door facing on the road, like if you've got no front garden, you've got your front door, you've got a path, and you leave me a note saying, please leave safe, you don't want to think I'm leaving that on the front door, do you?
No.
And if we've locked your back gate, that's getting chucked over the fence. I mean, obviously, I'll have a little scout and I'll see where the best place is. I'm not going to go, there we go. There's a really hard patio. I think I'll chuck this parcel as high up in the air as I possibly can so it lands on the patio on the corner of the parcel.
Yeah,
Anyway, right. So, can't wait for live on Stobart. I think we've done this, haven't we?
Yeah, you've done that one.
It's got machine for it. Depends what you go for. Unless you stick UV under natural sunlight. I've got UV light machines. Do you sell them, do you? I think the main green was 907. That you might be right there. No, it's not 907. I thought it was 906, but that looks a little bit like, maybe it is. I think maybe it is. Maybe it is a 906. There's another green. 0, but there's not that many. Yeah, there's only one packet of that and the whole lot. That's more the edging. And there's quite a lot of dark green just along the edges there. That's quite nice. Anyway, look, I've got to get a shift on. I've got about an hour. Well, I will be honest with you. I am looking at finishing. No, what did I say? 5 I need to finish. Yeah, so that's about an hour. I can push that a little bit later because I know I never finish on time. So I have said a time that's a little bit sooner than I can get away with. But it's basically going to be a case of pick me up, pens down at 4 o'clock.
Well, best way.
That's really pushing it now, isn't it, for time? So it's kind of my plans up for this week because of what I want to do when I really want to get that Mod Podging done.
Yeah.
And I want to get that other one. It was one of the diamond paints I was going to cut into sections and try different things. And I want to do that really before I mean, I'm going to need probably a session checking this and, sorting out the drills and, the pop drills and the gaps and things like that.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah. It's it's one of those things that it will take longer than you think it will.
Yeah.
And I don't really think there's such a thing as I'll just have a quick hour doing my diamond painting. Especially as once you've opened up a little section, a little square, you don't really want to stop until it's finished.
Yeah, I can be a bit like that. I have to finish the part I'm on. This
is why I open up smaller squares, because I can always do more. Right, yes, we get it a lot. We had one complaint that she had jet black hair in her picture, but it had blue. How could that be possible? Well, even I know the answer to that. When you shine a light through a dark color, such as black, it kind of separates the colors a little bit. That's how you get. See, I had the opposite problem. I used to play football for a team that played in blue. That was our main color. And we were doing rather well in the league. So to celebrate, I dyed my hair right raging like that color blue. And because my hair was so dark, the only place it actually showed properly was on my little grey spot on the front of my head. But it did show rather well. Like if the sun was behind me and I sort of moved my head and, you do the old Timotei head shake, or the Maybelline shake, maybe.
Maybelline.
Is she worth it? Maybe it's Maybelline. Then you could see the bits of blue. Maybe she did actually have black hair that she'd forgotten that she had dyed blue. And that's what she had done. I don't know. But like I just said earlier, these diamond paintings will basically it picks up what the photo is. It works that photo out pixel by pixel, and the photo will only pick out what it sees.
Yeah.
I know everyone jokes and says, "Oh yeah, the camera lies," but actually, it doesn't. A person could send back the order and keep the extra. Yeah, I suppose that's a bit dirty, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're a regular orderer, I wouldn't have an issue with that. You know, it's like Mike with his coasters. You know, if he sent me a bad kit and I sent it back and thought, actually, I don't like this, I'm sending it back, but I kept the coasters, I'd go, all right, fair enough. Especially as I'm about to put a £600 order their way. Andrew likes his tape more than Mike.
Yep.
No comment.
I know that one.
Fragile tape means nothing with some couriers these days. Yeah, I'm going to take a middle of the fence attitude on this one. It just depends on how much you overuse it. You know, if you're a courier and you go to a company, like if it was you, Teresa, I know some of your stuff is more fragile than others. If you put fragile tape on everything you did, I wouldn't respect it as much as if you put fragile tape on some stuff. You know, if you sold bedding and you put every fragile tape on everything, I'd be like, is it really? Really, is it fragile? It's, you know, do I really need to take extra care of this fitted sheet that's wrapped in plastic, that's put in a padded bag? Do I really need to treat that with a red cushion? No, we don't sell them. This is what Mike bought me about 4 years ago. Oh, right, okay. Something for the future, maybe? You have only just started, Penny, LOL. What, on this, you mean? Or the other one? It's the context, see, because that was 4 minutes ago. What are you laughing at, Tasha?
I don't.
What's that?
I don't know.
You don't know what you're laughing at. You are easily entertained, aren't you?
Pardon?
You are easily entertained, aren't you? I mean, I put all that effort into entertaining people, and then you laugh at stuff you don't know about.
Yeah.
We told her that's how the computer picks up the pixels, as we got a jet black dog and she got blue on her head. You said about that. I think you probably just got, to be honest with you, with me, so long as it looks remotely like the picture, it's like this. Yeah, that's what that picture looks like. If his eyes are glowing the dark red, then I'd say, well, that ain't right. If the picture,
oh no, that would look cool, wouldn't it? In glowing dark red.
But like, if there was, see, you're looking at all of that as white, aren't you?
Yeah, but there's greys and all
maybe
that.
Not a single white drill in that. Well, actually, there is, but there may actually be no white drills in there at all. So you know, it's how the computer sees it, isn't it? If the computer says no, then you ain't getting it.
Well, when I did a custom picture of Maya, she had blue in her, and she's black.
Yeah, but blue is a major component of black, as is red.
Yeah. So it's going to pick it up.
It depends how. Well, the thing is, you've got to look at the whole thing. Something we keep saying over and over, don't we? Got to look at the whole thing in context. I think that is that now finished. So that is 2 bags of 890 finished. 350. So there should be about 50 drills in there, theoretically. Unless there's a short drill bag in for another project. I don't know anymore. I know nothing. Right, let's do these for you. I'm going to try and get this worked out into the corner because there's a big old chunk. Wee, look at them. Right, there you go. Look, that is quite a prominent colour, isn't it? This is a really good example. So when you look at it in context to things like this, Yeah, that's a massive difference. Now watch what happens when I actually put them in.
The shading.
Yeah. I suppose there's a similar thing where when we do figure painting, sometimes you've got to really push those colors hard to get that highlight. If you push a more gentle color in, it just doesn't work. You really got to push that shading quite extreme sometimes. You know, when you do like edge highlights,
Yeah,
really push it. Really, if you're doing say a lime green, you could be using like a lemon yellow for the edge highlights, a really thin yellow, and it's surprising how dull it is at the end. Whereas if you use like a light green, it just wouldn't work. Right, so there is the bees almost complete, which you can't see yet because of the light. But look, can you see it's not really so bright anymore, is it?
no.
Just shaded that edge, just giving it a little bit of a hard edge down there where the front bit is.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah. But when you think how bright that or how harsh that colour is by comparison, it's actually blended really well. Now you could look at that and go, Jesus Christ, that ain't right. Give it a go. Well, what colour have I just done there? Is it 913?
Yeah, that one.
So 913 had one bag, 62 drills. So that's left. I think that's it for that. Right, let's get these Y's done, which is 310. And this is probably the most 310 I'll use in any given bit.
Show you next picture.
We used to put a strip over the picture frames we sent for the paintings and they ended up broke. Today you only just started. I have had Amazon delivery place packages at wrong house, and also I had a driver deliver an empty bag. Driver deliver an empty bag. Okay.
Wow.
But in his defense, he doesn't, unless he can actually see in the bag, I can't see how he can be at fault for delivering an empty bag. You know, his job is delivering a parcel, a box. And you know that the boxes they give you are always much bigger, because you order a pen and you get a coffin-sized box, don't you?
Oh yeah, I've had that of Amazon. You get a bigger box than you should do.
I saw a joke on Facebook. It said, I'm going to economise. Instead of buying a coffin for my funeral, I'm just going to order a pen, and you can use the cardboard box. Right. Exactly. If you stand back, the picture fit. Yeah. Now I'm looking at that a lot closer as well. Let's do the old pullback, shall we? So, yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's just nicely blended. That doesn't look. That actually looks a similar color than that does up close, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But that's quite a turquoisey color. I think, what is 913 called? I don't know if I can trust my book anymore.
I don't
We had
trust
dodgy ones, didn't we? Right, according to the book, 913 is Nile green. Teresa's probably going to come back with aubergine or something like that. Southern Californian aubergine. Do you know what? I'd love to be like a paint manufacturer, and I just give all my paints funny names.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, humorous names.
Yeah.
Just stupid stuff like, you know, Southern Californian aubergine green.
Mhm. I could actually imagine you doing that, actually.
Yeah. More descriptions rather than names of paint.
Yeah, I could definitely see you doing that one.
Blood that's been congealing for 3 hours. And then maybe the shade can be paint that's fresh blood, you know, and blood that's been sat there for a couple of weeks and it's just started to go a bit funny. And I think one of the browns I would have to call, what's that smell? Well, this idea started from I used to subscribe to a company that used to give me mystery paints every month.
Yeah.
And they sent some washers from a company called Secret Weapon, really, really good. But this one we got sent was baby poop.
Oh God.
And it was. That's just, you can imagine it, baby poop. Yeah. Maybe I could come up with a color. You know, they like midnight blue is quite a common color, isn't it? So maybe I could call one 1 a.m. blue. Just was a slightly different shade.
Yep. Turn it a bit lighter.
Yeah. Maybe the purple could just be called Penny's favourite colour.
Oh yeah, but is there different colour types of purples you like or not?
No, but I can just imagine, right, being in a hobby shop. Well, I think you want Penny's favourite colour. And then the customer will go, well, what's Penny's favourite colour? And they go, purple.
Yeah.
Product is very big and Amazon scanners give a short description of contents. I actually used his picture to prove I didn't get them. Right, okay, yeah, I didn't realise they get description. Funny names of paint, Hammond GW. Yeah, their colour names are just different from anyone else's. But I suppose they're more funny if you don't know the products. What's their black is called Abaddon Black. Well, Abaddon, I think, is that a character or something, a chaos character from you've got Wazdaka Red, is it?
No idea.
Which is more of an orky red, isn't it? Well, you wouldn't necessarily know.
No, I don't know.
But I don't know. I think if you don't play GW games or you don't play Fantasy Battle or anything like that, they probably would be amusing.
Mm.
You'd be like, oh, how the hell do you get that sort of thing? For anyone that knows about GW products, they're probably just ordinary. You know, Dark Angels green. What do you think to that?
Or is it dark green?
Well, it is a dark green actually, but if I said to you what colour would a Dark Angel be, you'd probably go more for black, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because in the conventional sense, good guys are white, bad guys are black.
Yeah.
And Dark Angel sort of, you know, it's anti-angel, isn't it?
Yeah.
But to anyone that plays Warhammer, Dark Angels, you just go green.
True.
It is a nice colour actually, especially when you've shaded it as well. I used to paint Chaos, which is essentially it's black, brass and red, but the red is sort of more of a dark red, sort of gore red, more than a scarlety red.
Yeah.
And I had lovely colours, especially when I'm doing what I used to do was just to give it something a bit different. Demons, I used to paint them in the dark red.
Yeah.
And then anything physical that needed red, I'd do in the bright red. or black. Whereas like knights and things, I do them with dark black, dark red armor, as though they're trying to sort of look like a demon.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just doing everything the same colors.
Yep.
And I always just set myself a challenge of trying to get at least one dot of purple into every model I painted, which was a lot harder than it sounded sometimes. Right, that's the black done.
You done your black?
Done me black. Right, let's do L next. 3371. This is so hard to find these now because I've got so many of them. When I just had the 41 set up for this, so you just kind of know where the positions are.
Yep.
But now that I've got, that is absolutely, if I had one more color, I wouldn't have anywhere to put it. So you got any plans for the rest of the week?
Me?
Yeah.
Tomorrow I've only got, as you know, my eye test.
Right. Is that like optician's eye test or?
Yeah, because I'm trying to. I've tried a filter for my dyslexia to read letters and stuff like that, but it's just not working.
Okay.
For me, and I'm not going to keep going out spending money on them.
Is that because you're an awkward bugger and what works for everyone else, you need to be a little bit extra special?
Yeah, I'm very special, you see. So, you know.
Fair enough.
So they're going to test my eyes anyway, even though I've not long ago had it done. And they said my eyesight's too weak for glasses anyway.
Okay.
Not worth wearing glasses for, but I said, well, I'm struggling.
If you need it for like your filter and that, you're going to need something to hold the lenses in, aren't you?
Yeah. So it's all I won't know what they're going to sort out tomorrow. Well, tomorrow comes.
They're the experts.
So hopefully last year I had my other eyesight done, and they said there's nothing they can do, and I'm like, well, there's got to be some opticians that can help with it.
Dentists don't have anything to do with eyes.
No, my brain's a bit different since this morning, so it's coming out with gobble.
No, it's all right. As long as you don't mind me take the mickey out of you.
No, because I'll just return it, don't worry.
I was going to say, probably the next stream, you'll probably have tons to take the mickey out of me with. What goes around comes around.
Oh, yeah. If you're prepared to give it, expect to take it.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly right. Right.
So, and tomorrow night, I'm obviously at PF, place I go.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about weekend at all at the moment. Probably stay in.
Fair enough. Well, I am planning on doing some streams at the weekend. You are more than welcome to join me.
Cool. Oh no, I won't be at PF, even though I've been asked to go in. I'm out for a meal on Friday.
Oh, very nice. Posh meal or just eating?
I'm going to have to cancel going to PF now.
Oh no.
I forgot about that. I'm meeting up with there's a big group of us meeting up for a meal.
Oh, I think that would be good for you, that would, wouldn't it?
And it's a Chinese meal.
Nice.
So,
do you know what people call? Do you know what they call Chinese food in China?
No.
Food. We've had this conversation with mustard, haven't we?
Yep.
Americans call it English mustard. We just call it mustard. Oh,
yeah. So I'll have to cancel going there because I've got a meal that I've already paid for.
Oh, I think that's going to be really good for you. Is it a sit-down meal?
Yeah, sit-down meal with a group of. I think there's quite a few of us going. And I've
is it a buffet or is it order stuff and get what you're given?
So
a lot of the Chinese do the help yourself buffet, don't they?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what I'm having yet.
Okay, well, if it's a help yourself buffet, and
I'll
you're
just
allowed to
pick it
go
all.
back, no, just go for tiny bits of each.
Yeah.
Because your plate will fill up very, very quickly,
Yeah.
and then go back and take lots of what you like.
Yeah.
Because you know what that, you'll put stuff on, and I got no room for it. But just put tiny, like one mini pancake on.
Yeah.
Small spoonful of rice and bit of this, and then go back. I like that, so I'll have more of that. That one's so good, so I won't have any of that. And take more stuff from the back than the front.
That's what I normally do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Go for the
actually
back, not the front.
there's a little sciencey trick they do. All the cheaper stuff they put at the front. All the more expensive stuff they put at the back. Because what happens is as you pile stuff on from the front, you then start to run out of room on the plate, so you don't put so much stuff at the back. And they do hide the good stuff.
Yeah.
You might see this massive bowl of lettuce, and then behind it is the caviar or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of science behind buffets. And if you pay like £10 a person, you're probably going to end up eating about £3 worth of food.
Yeah.
And hit seafood if you like seafood, because the seafood's the expensive stuff. See, when I go out, I look at a lot of Chinese. It's like it's no difference in price between, say, chicken chow mein or beef chow mein. So that's when I have stuff like beef. I can't afford to eat beef. Well, I don't know if I could actually, but like proper, I don't count mince, but I don't buy a lot of like proper beef. So I tend to eat beef when I go out because it also makes it a bit more special, doesn't it? Because I have chicken or mince just about every day of the week. So, I'm going to finish this. I'm getting really excited. Look. That's how much I've got. We can't even see how little I've got left. But I can tell you I've got 7 drills, and 3 of those are all the same colour.
So you're going to get it done. Look, see?
I'm going to get it done. I think that Y's helped, because there were that many Y's. Once you've done that one colour, it's knocked quite a lot off. So I got 4 drills, but there were 4 different colours.
Oh, that's nothing new, that one, is it?
Right.
Got to make it a little bit awkward.
Yeah, well, I've got the repair bits to do as well, but I'm not counting that. 169. I'm sure this is trying to tell me something. I've got VXF left. There's the V. Oh, I got my drill order through yesterday from Smith's.
Yeah.
I think, because I thought I'd ordered about four packets of everything. And I ended up, and it was on the order. They sent the order exactly as I'd ordered it. I had like 8 packets of Blanc, whatever it's called. I think what I'd done was I'd gone, I definitely want those. I'll put those in. And then towards the end of the order, I guess maybe I didn't know if I'd ordered them. So rather than do the easy thing and check, I just went, oh yeah, and I need to order them. And if you order like 4 of something, and then later on you order 4 more, it just actually increases it to 8 rather than getting 4 of them and 4 of them, and they're the same.
You're going to end up with more.
Yeah. But then I'm sitting there this morning sorting out my single packets, and I'm like, why have I ordered all of those drills just to see what the colours are like when I've got single packets of them? So, but they're not hugely expensive, if you know. And I know that, like Teresa said in the past, there's certain colours that it don't matter what batch they are, they will come out the same. So But you know, if I get a diamond painting come through and it's got like 17 packets of 776, I don't even know if there is a 776. And I've got one packet. It's a different packet from the 6 that I've just received. I'll just throw the single packet one away and then use the 6, or see how much different it is. Right, guys, I am finished, but I'm going to do comments first because I can see a couple come in. Teresa says, I've still been trying to get the space so I can try to do like a ruler thing with the resin for you.
Oh, that's to me.
All right, okay. Natasha, eye doctor looked at my eyes and the left one might need surgery to work well again. Oh, I don't envy you. Yeah. Well, did I tell you about I'm okay with horror movies. I can watch horror movies all day long. But you give me like Birmingham Children's Eye Hospital. No. I'm like, no. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I know it's real. You know, if you watch a Halloween movie or something and someone's head gets cut off with a chainsaw, I'm all right with that because I know it's just movies. So I don't know if I missed this one drill off that fell out, but there's a T over here that's need doing. Oh, and there's an R over that. Now I'm not going to do it. That's fallen out. I could be here all day doing the odd drills. Yeah, so no. Penny, what happened with your ceramic knife? It is somewhere on this. There it is. It's here. So this is fantastic. It's not supposed to cut skin, but don't run it along your skin because I did it once. I was showing Chris it and I went, look, it doesn't cut skin. And I went like that, 3 runs along my arm, and it actually just cut through the top layer of skin. Didn't bleed or anything. It just cut the skin. And I went to the doctor's about a couple of weeks later, and she was chatting to me, and she goes, what about those marks on your arm? And I went, no. I said, you're not going to believe me, but I was testing that knife. Oh my God, I'm making this sound even worse.
Yeah, like you do.
Yeah. Oh, I was just running a knife along my arm. There's nothing to worry about there. No, I said, but I did tell her, and I said, look, I got this ceramic knife that isn't supposed, it cuts paper and it doesn't cut your skin. And I was showing my friend and I was going, look, it doesn't cut through skin. Yeah. And I was pressing a little bit too hard, and it turns out it does cut through the top layer of skin if you press hard enough. And she gave me this kind of look. I think she was sort of saying, I don't believe you, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt this time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I laughed. She didn't. Right. So, yeah, some colours are very close. I mean, to be honest with you, most of the colours where they don't match are really not much to worry about. I've got a few drills where they're different colours, but they're really one of the colours I've been using for this. The colours aren't a close. The colours are a close match, but they're not exact. And you know, if you can find the colour that isn't an exact match, I'll buy you 100 by 100 diamond painting. That's how confident I am that you won't find it. So, right, I'm going to pop the drills back. This isn't perfect. It needs a little bit of work to make a little stand for it. But these drills go, because these are not the same height, stacking them on top is probably not the best idea ever. But because the gap is, let me show you, look. Because the gap is just big enough, they ain't going anywhere, but they don't stack straight because of the shape of the containers. But that's good enough, isn't it?
That's good enough, though.
Right, so let's see if I can use this other. Oh, what have I just done there?
Oh, no idea.
If I can get away with using the overhead cam. That's all right, isn't it? So I'm going to steal the screen. Right, so that is slightly out of focus, but that is my completed diamond painting, with the exception of a few little drills that have popped. So I'm calling it a day on this. So what I'll look at doing, the next stream, we'll have a play with some. I don't. I found the Mod Podge, and it's Mod Podge Gloss. And I'm not sure. I haven't had a good look, but I'm not sure. I can't guarantee you I can find the other Mod Podge, but I think that'll be. I think comparing gloss with PVA glue will do the job. So we'll have a play with that. I've got a full tub of it. And I'm going to go and get a pastry brush or something. I have got the Mod Podge brush somewhere. So I'm going to get like a soft brush. Oh, excuse me. Just in case I can't find that brush. But
that looks really, really good.
I'm so chuffed with this. I am so much more chuffed than I thought I'd be with it. So thank you, Smith's Beads. I am really, really happy. So I'm going to do an honest review on it using this little DMC thing they've got. Right. So, although I really should have done the unboxing side before I actually started it. So right, I'm going to be totally honest and possibly unfair, right? So 5 stars for everything, and we've got to think of one other section to give it 100 stars. Oh, hang on, 5 to give it 50 stars. So the overall rating, we'll just double what we get. So canvas glue, right? I've got to go 4.5, really, haven't I? Because there were issues with the glue, but I don't think it was Smith's Beads' fault. But I'm reviewing this on the basis of how I received it. Is that fair? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. There were a few little areas of the glue, the tape that was lifting. But if you just cut it with a, just knife or pin or something and then push it down. So you probably advise to just each time you do a new square, just do a little bit of housekeeping on each bit of tape, and that's fine. That's why I'm quite happy 4.5. Symbol clarity, although I can pick on one of the symbols, I'll give it a 5, because the symbol that I was picking on was those two there. Oh, I've got the wrong camera. Whoops. That one. So the two that I would pick on is those two there. Very similar symbols. The colours are next to each other, and the colours were very similar, but I don't think it's fair to knock any marks off for that. Drill quality quantity, can't give them any less than a 5, can I?
Nope.
The only one that I ran out of the 312s, I think that was my fault, so I can't knock anything off. Design success. Well, I think that was a success, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I got exactly what I ordered. My experience, okay, probably improved because I'm doing it on stream, but I enjoyed every single minute of that off stream and on stream. Got a little bit tedious doing this bit down here because it's just, you've done all of it, you want to get it finished, but actually it's lovely. Look, I mean, you can see that shadow underneath.
Shadow, yeah.
So for the unboxing side, you've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 24.5, double that, 49. So you've got 49 out of 50 for the unboxing review. Is that fair?
Only you know about the unboxing.
Yeah. Saying that, yeah, drill. I don't know why they put drill quality quantity. Because how do you know the quality and the quantity as an unboxing other than just counting the number of bags? So I think you're always going to get 5 out of 5 for that as an unboxing, because I know that where they check their drills. Right, so post review drills. Again, 5 for the same reason that I've given for the first, because there were enough drills. I did run out 312s, but there was enough bags. I counted them all, and I do believe that the reason I ran out 312s was because I didn't look after them well enough. Canvas quality, well, that sounds a little bit like canvas glue. I'm going to be harsh and give it 4.5.
On what? Sorry, forgot.
Canvas quality.
Mm.
I'm going to be harsh and give 4.5, and I don't think anyone would argue with that, would they? There was a little bit of a defect, which admittedly I had the option to refuse it. You had the rivering, which was I'm not sticking up for them. I do think it was more delivery rather than, I think it arrived to me in worse condition than it was posted in. Seller review, I don't really understand what I'm reviewing on seller review. Was the seller good? Well, of course they're good. They're very good friends of mine. So that's maybe a little bit of an unfair, but that'll be a 5. I know what I'm getting with Smith's beads. I know they're there. I know they're not just going to take my money and run. So I'll give it a 5 for that. Overall rating, I think it's worth a 5, isn't it?
Yeah, or 10.
Well, it's out of 5.
Yeah, well, we can change
so
that up a bit.
Anything else? Can we think of another section to do? As a post review, we've done quality trash drills. Let's have one for trash drills. All right, and
I don't get a lot of that. Now and
No.
again I do, but I don't get a lot of it.
I think
I just get the odd one that's round.
I did get all those 310s, but those 310s didn't come with this.
No.
They were the 310s I already had before I started this, so that doesn't count.
No.
So I think that this, on the basis of that rating system, has scored 98%. Would you be happy with that?
80%.
98.
Oh, 98. Sorry, I'm getting
because it lost 2% on the rivering.
Okay.
And I think that's being harsh. So I think that's worth 98%, guys. Anyone disagree? Is there any problems that I might have forgotten about that you remember seeing me do on stream?
I don't remember many problems by the river. That's it. That was it. That's all I can remember.
In my own doing, like these great big bloody lines across here.
Yeah, but didn't you start off using the ruler after you started it?
I think I started it round about here. Yes,
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, and I've got a big line of drills here that are raised, and I think that's where I forgot to sort the rivers out. So maybe I should be a bit mean and go. I'm going to drop the rating from 98 to 60 because of this one line here. No, it's fine. That's my doing. Basically, any problem. I haven't done any diamond painting for ages, so I think given my experience level and the quality of this, here's a question for you, Natasha.
Mm-hmm.
Would I recommend this to a beginner diamond painter?
Yeah, because why not? This
one.
Or they could try and
very borderline, but just inside the yes.
Yeah.
This no bus. The reasons I'm thinking why this is borderline, maybe the snow bus, no, because of the number of colours.
Yeah.
There's a lot of colours to handle. This is, I think, is bordering on a lot.
Yeah, bordering.
I want to get Mike and Teresa to disagree or agree with me on that, because do you think I'm being fair in saying that? So this one, so actually, I've just invented a question. Do you have the facility, because obviously your new supplier is using more colours, which is great for me. Having 60,000 colors is great because I know I'm getting more detail. But would you have the facility for someone who's new to go, look, I want to do this big one. I'm quite new to this. I really don't think I could handle extra colors. Could you reduce it down a bit? Is that something you could do? Is that something you wouldn't advise?
I think they could reduce the size. Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on the age and capabilities of the person. That's a really fair comment. So yeah, maybe the size might be an issue. I'm going to blind you all now, because I've got this beautiful light pad. I'm going to turn it off to save you. It's a beautiful light pad. As you can see, it's just almost 60 centimeters. It's about 60 centimeters by about 41, which is why I'm considering going 60 by 40. So you can see that the problem there, that the top is now lined up with the top of the light pad. To get the bottom lined up, I've got to push it up. So while I was working on the top, let me show you this. Oh, I've got the wrong camera. Oh, would help if I use the right one, wouldn't it? So when I was working on the top, there's the top there. Now that was a little bit high up for me, especially in the corners. So ideally, perhaps wanted to start at about there because that's where my reach is. Yeah. But I did start at there, and I've started the new one in the corner, and I am struggling a little bit right in the corners. I know that once I get to about there, it's going to be a lot easier to work with. But look at the bottom. Yeah. Now, as I lean forward, I'm pushing that. And it's not a problem. It'll sort itself out, but I have to work top to bottom. Because if I work bottom to top, then as I'm bringing it down, I'm going to be creasing all of this. So I really need a bit of space at the top so that as I bring it up, I've got somewhere for that top to go. So, you know, if you've not got the space, this is going to be, well, obviously that's probably an obvious statement, isn't it? Yeah. I think 40 by 30 is a more popular size anyway, but probably for that reason. But Teresa, are you happy with 98% rating on the first customer I've ever got from you? See, trouble is, because I've rated this 98%, that means that the other two aren't going to get less than 100.
No.
Because the area where I've marked this down, the other ones are perfect. So what we need is about 15 bags of really dodgy drills in there just to bring the score down a bit.
15 dodgy bags.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No. I've already seen most of the drill. Well, most of the drills are on the floor now. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think I'm just trying to say I am really happy. That's it with you, isn't it? You're just happy if we're happy. But yeah, there's another good point. Tree says for the detail, you need the size.
Yeah.
I did state that I wanted the detail. I think my actual wording was make it as small as you can without losing any detail. And Mike sent me a 50 by 50 render and a 60 by 60. And we both agreed 60 by 60 is the minimum.
It's like the my bird ones. Mike sent me 2 renderings for that. But the 60 by 60 for the bird one, the girls, looks better for the details of the heart. And what because you're
getting bigger than actual size then, aren't you?
Yeah, because there's that much details on that picture with the red and the white. There's actually snowflakes in there.
Yeah.
So it looked better with the detail being 10 centimeters bigger.
I think, right, just let me do some maths there and I forget all the numbers. How wide is one drill? Is it 2.5 millimeters?
No idea.
Oh, I can't remember. I know Teresa will just pile this information out quicker than I can ask the question. Do you know what? My jury's out on this, Natasha.
Is it out on it now?
Well, look, my other roller, which is somewhere in this planet, I put things down and I can't find them. Here it is. Right, this is really, really good. It wasn't cheap, but it's a good quality one. And I can push down as hard as I want on that. But the roller's got a kind of a rubbery feel to it.
Yeah.
So if you've got any raised drill, it won't push all the drills in because it just rolls over it. This has got a hard plastic roller, so it is better in that sense. But look, I'm going to emphasize this. Look, if you press too hard, it just breaks.
Yeah, because you're heavy-handed.
Because I'm heavy-handed. And I just fear that the next time this breaks, that's it. I'm not going to be able to put it back together again. I love the funky colours. I love the thought that I didn't know what colour I was getting.
Yeah, that was quite cool as well, because I've got similar colour, but mine's a little lighter blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yours is just a bit darker. It was just a fun fact to see what colour I was getting. I was going, hope it's not Norwich City.
No, do you hate Norwich as well then?
Yeah.
That's bad, isn't it? You know, we're both from
Even though I'm born and bred from there, that's really bad for me, and to hate my own home team. But I'm not into football anyway, to be honest.
You're not what?
I'm not really into football.
How can you have an opinion on football if you're not into it?
Yeah, I still, because I'm allowed to have an opinion.
Well, of course you are. Opinions are allowed here. Just remember, just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you're right or wrong.
No.
Don't confuse opinions with facts. Right. Right. So one of the I've seen that one. One of the trilogy I'd done was 90x7. It did need extra length on it, as there were 5 people, and it looked like the 5th person was right. Right. That sticky roller could. Well, this one won't pick up cat hair because it's not sticky. But it's the same principle as a lint roller. Mark Fit. I'm still here, you know. We know you. We appreciate you being here. Right, yeah, someone's just tried to spam the show, but it's not happening. Do your best.
I was wondering what that was. I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't even see the message. I just saw the I might look it up actually. I know you won't see it now, will you? So just give me a sec, guys, because I haven't got the actual show up. Yeah, so drills 2.5 millimeters, is it when you do square? Millimeters, is it when you do square?
What?
That's sorry, that's because I haven't got it on mute.
I was like, what? Am I in that question twice?
Oh, do you know what? I might have been mean. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Don't matter. It's my show. I can do what I want. Right. Yeah. So what was I going to say next? Yeah. So, right. So a normal photo is 640 by. Can't remember what a photo size is. Common image sizes. $640. I'm pretty sure 640. 640 by 480. Right, that's sort of a common internet image size. Right, so if you've got a 640, that's 640 pixels times, is it 200? I'm sure it's 2.5 millimeters. So Echo, what's 2.5 millimeters by 640?
2.5 millimeters times 640 is 1.6 meters.
Yeah, okay, that's rather a large one, isn't it? But that would be your optimum size, isn't it? Because that's no pixel reduction at all.
No.
Because that would be 640 drills by 480. So that would be 1 pixel, 1 drill. Next pixel, next drill. And I bet that would look absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So, Echo, what's 480 times 2.5?
480 times 2.5 is 1,200.
Right, so there you go. That's something I'm aiming for then. A 1.6 meter by 1.2 meter diamond painting of the beach.
The beach.
Well, you got to have something with a lot of detail on, haven't you? If you're going to do something that appreciates detail, you got to put detail on.
Well, yep, exactly.
So if I did a close-up picture of the sand on the beach, we would get every single grain of sand individually on that, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Would that drive you mad or not?
Yeah, that would drive me mad.
Could you imagine the colours in that? Oh my God, that'll drive you loose.
I'll tell you what, if you want a lot of detail, maybe I can take a picture of some of the graffiti that the kids put on the back of the bus seats.
Oh God, I bet they do and all, don't they?
Yeah, if you need a good time, then I could probably get you some numbers. Or if you want anyone to add on to Instagram. I don't know what people do that. Add me on Insta. Right, okay. Well, you've just identified who you are now. Well, I thought the idea of doing something naughty was to not get caught.
Yeah.
So if I graffiti on a bus, add me on YouTube, Penny's Pit Stop. If you like Penny Blake, who lives in East Kilbride, add me on YouTube. Or email me on so and so. P.S. I hope I don't get caught for this. No. So, have you made any progress today?
I've done a little bit, not a lot.
That's right, a little bit. Every little helps. Teresa says it's a shame about that one, really, as it was a 3,000 subscribe. I remember saying about this. And it still needs repairing.
Yeah.
So we're not sending it anymore, as they're now on 800,000 subscribers. Well, I'm getting. Oh, hang on. I'm sure my I can't work my numbers out. I can't remember what my numbers were because I looked
before I started streaming with you. Weren't you somewhere around 711?
Right. In that case, I've done a lot better than I thought then, because I'm now on 761. I think I just hit over 750, hadn't I? But according to my analytics, I've had 3 new subscribers in the last 28 days.
One will be Hannah and one will be Amy.
Yeah, but my subscribers haven't gone down. Let's see if I can change the there we go, last 20. Let's have a look at in the last 90 days. 17 subscribers in the last 90 days. 77 in the last year. So they are. So I just obviously forgotten what the number was, because I looked at 761. I thought, has that gone down? Do you know what I do? I'm not going to say who she is, because I might accidentally sound like I'm bad mouthing her channel, but she did a stream because she'd hit 100 subscribers, and then as she did this stream, she'd gone down to 99. And then she's moaning that, oh, what's going on? People are going to leave my stream. And I'm like, that's not really fair, is it? Because if I counted all of my subscribers who have left, and don't forget that since I've done this channel, things have changed.
Yeah.
I did a lot more painting when I first started. I'm still doing some painting, but not as much. Now, if people are subscribed to my channel only for the painting, and they don't like part works and diamond painting, that channel's not going to be. Now, I don't subscribe to thousands of channels, but I get a lot of notifications, and I get so many notifications that I can't watch them all. And then sometimes I'm spending so long sifting through all the notifications that aren't of interest, I might then actually miss channels that I really do want to watch.
Yeah.
So if I'm not watching a channel and I haven't watched a channel for a long time, I unsubscribe from it because it just makes my life easier. And I expect everybody else does the same. So now, obviously, you've got a new channel, and I think there's always that appeal with new channels. And I love subscribing to new channels because I think I don't know what's going to happen with this channel. And it could be really exciting times. And I'd love to be subscribed to a channel that had 1 million subscribers, and I was one of the first 100, you know. But yeah, your subscriber numbers are going to go. If you obsess about your subscriber numbers, you're going to get upset about it. If you just look at, like, say, I've looked at my subscribers now. I've looked at my subscriber numbers now, and they've changed a little bit. But it's been that long, I forgot what the number was before. I'm looking forward to getting to 800 and then 900 and 1,000. 1,000's the magic number that I want to hit. Really do want to hit 1,000. And then I'm wondering what I'll do with that, because I can monetize then. But I hate adverts on YouTube. But to monetize, I've got to put adverts on my channel. But I do have a strict rule of any income I receive will be used for the stream. And you know, you notice that most of the things on my wish list can enhance the stream in some way. So if I made 50 quid over the course of 3 months, I'd probably buy a custom with it. But I'd probably say to everybody, what would you like me to do a custom of? You effectively paid for it. Yeah. And if they say, I want you to go to the beach and take a picture of the sand and do a 1.6 meter by 1.2 meter, well, if I've raised that in ad revenue, I don't mind doing it. As far as I'm concerned, it's your money. Well, not yours, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, they put their money into it.
Well, they haven't.
I think they should have the right to choose what they'd like to see you do in a way.
So maybe I can buy another vacuum cleaner. Maybe I can do giveaways, you know.
Yeah, things, just simple little things. Do you know what I mean? It's the simple things that mean more to people than the big things.
Yeah. So maybe I can see at the moment. The only giveaways I can really afford to do right now is 5 people will receive 1 packet of drills of their choice. And but yeah, it's but I think I'm a little bit soon about planning the future of my my channel.
No, but there's no harm in having dreams.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, if we're having dreams, I've got bigger dreams than reaching 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
You'll get there. It just takes time.
Well,
it's meaning I've got 2 on mine. I'm like, where'd they come from?
Yeah,
but I don't do anything.
Well, Mark said that he's found my stream because of the models to start with.
I think mine, how I found I think it was through Mike and Teresa, to be honest.
Probably, yeah. Teresa says everything takes time. Yeah. One thing, I did take a bit of a knock last year when I didn't stream for about 9 months.
Yeah, but that was that you had things going on, so that's totally understandable. That's why.
I know some people obsess about subscriber numbers, and I still stick to that. I said, see, trouble is, the more your channel grows, the more you become a bit more markety and all. But I have always said about, I'd rather have 2 or 3 subscribers. See, right now we've got 6 people watching the show. I don't know if one of those is me. But I'd rather have 6 people enjoying the show than 1,000 people not doing anything, just, you know, it's just whatever. So
Yeah, I know, I get
and
you.
obviously at the moment, I know I miss comments. You took a hit with life during, yeah, I did. Yeah, they were a bit dark dog days, weren't they? I didn't even get out of bed for about 2 months, other than making a coffee and going to the toilet. And then I'd like once a week, I'd nip down the shop and get tobacco and chocolate from Smith's. What did I say? Smith's Beads there.
Because it's in your brain.
And then I get back into bed. And yeah, it was like, it's just all I could really do. And, you know, you kind of get like that anyway. But yeah, that's how it goes. And then I got my life a little bit more on track. And now I just enjoy things when things are going well. And I'm quite happy to say that the things I'm moaning about, some people might be looking at me and going, well, you're lucky to be moaning about that. You know, I'm moaning a lot about my job. And there's a lot of people that don't have a job to moan about and not lack of trying. Some people can't. So, you know, I haven't got much to worry about at the moment. So I think my biggest worry in life is that I just can't find enough time to stream.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it.
Mark says, then found out I knew you and now thinking of doing a custom myself. Well, I thought you already do, Don. Yeah, definitely. I would recommend this. So as I sort of, to sum up what I've said, definitely recommend this. Not necessarily this bus.
No.
You've got to think about, I think it's fair to say you've got to think about, can you do it? You've got to consider the size. You know, I've got the space to do it, so it's okay. Although I think it's a little bit large. I think I am sort of that coach at the castle. I'm going to get that in a 60 by 40. 60 by 40, 40 by 60, depends on which way around they do it. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe if I can get 60 by 40s, that will, although if you have to do it sideways, that might make the symbols funny, won't it? No, if you do it, because I'm going to do it so it's across.
That's the good thing I can do. I can work upside down and sideways and all that.
I ain't got the height. I mean, I've got the height. I mean, look, I'm going to try not to spoil it too much. I don't think there's much to spoil, actually. As long as I keep my finger there. So, this is only a 50. But, I've got to switch cameras now. I'm only doing this because I know you can't see enough of the picture. Right. So, I'm going to have to steal a big picture. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Right. So, this one, I've started on this. This is about, I don't know how many hours I've done. Right. But what I've done is where I've had it, see where this was on the edge of my light pad. Now, that's not going to be a problem because when I get to that, but I've probably, this is one issue with this. The back of the, I've just fixed it there. In the corners, I'm finding the glue is lifting up. The tape is lifting quite easily. So there you go. Like you see where it's lifted before. That's not how it came. That's just where I pulled the backing paper and it lifted the tape. So be very careful in the corners, guys. But yeah, so this bit where I've bent it, I mean, it's not going to be a problem. Look, you can see the actual canvas underneath is all right. It's more than usable. But that's my problem with having anything bigger than 40 centimeters tall. It's while I'm working on the top. But once I've done about 20 centimeters on the top, then the bottom of the light pad's going to be there.
Yeah.
So you know what, I like that. I'm seeing that from distance now. Anyway, that's all you're seeing. That's more than I should have shown you. So now this one's going to be quite a nice size. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, no, this one's all right because it's 40 centimeters. So just peel that down gently. So that is the same height as the light pad. The only trouble there is that when I put that on, and I can see how much light pad is going to be showing.
Could get some white pieces of paper.
That's
or card.
exactly what I was thinking. I'm going to have to put some paper down on the light pad to stop the light. But that'd be a lot easier to work with. I can't wait to do this, you know. I really can't wait. But I've been cutting the release paper up. That's the only trouble. I cut the release paper up based on how I did it before. And it's not the same shape as I do it now. Because that's my fault, that river there. Probably, more than likely. This has been, I've had 3 different addresses since I bought this. So I'm lucky I still own it. I'm just gutted. I don't know where I don't know. But that, I'm really gutted about the bus one, losing that. If I'd have lost the drills, but had the canvas, it wouldn't be a problem. I'll just buy the drills. And I wouldn't even need to buy all of the drills in one go. Because I'll just buy, I don't know, 10 packets. Or have a little chat with Teresa and say, look, this is all listed in quantities. What do you reckon to this? And if she says 1 gram is 5 packets, 0.2 gram, I don't know, 0.2 grams is 1 packet, then I can roughly work out what I need and then get cracking on it. And then if it looks like I'm going to, but half of these colours I've probably already got anyway, because it's about 20 colours that you seem to get with every single diamond painting anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
So, but that bus one, I would imagine most of them are grey. 1.2 grams is 1 packet. Okay, so I feel a bit swizzled now when you get less than 1.2 grams. So this other one, all right, so when it says supply on here, 27.2, that's how many grams you get, I take it. So you've got one here, 0.2 grams of ecru. So now I feel robbed because I haven't even got a whole packet of one of the colours. No, it's probably still spares though, isn't there? Right, okay, guys, it is 5:10.
Yep.
So I am going to finish now. So I'm really happy I got it. Well, I really wasn't sure if I was going to finish it.
You done it though.
I got it. I just cracked on there. You came in and saved the day because then I could spend more time working on it.
And me chatting not like I know what I'm doing.
If you can't make it, fake it.
Yeah, true.
I don't know what you're talking about. At least sound convincing.
True.
Right. So I might just off stream cut the edge of this. I'm going to go and get a quote for this frame. I am definitely. No, not this one. No, this. Right. So the plan for this Flixbus one is I want to see if work will take it off me, stick it in a frame, and then hang it up at my depot.
That's a good idea.
There's another photo I'm trying to get hold of that look very, very good with it. And that's all the buses parked in a row. There's about 10 buses.
Yeah.
But if you have it the same proportions as this one, you're going to get a lot of dead space and an awful lot of the potholy thing. So I think it's probably might be better to do it as a 60 by 30 or 60 by 20. You know, that's kind of how it's probably best. But then if you've got a thin one, do you then want a thin one of the buses on the other side of the yard? so that maybe the buses are, I don't know. So it's maybe just shut up and just here. You can have this, but you got to frame it. On the E-Crew, only 22 drills is needed, so you have to. No, I'm talking about this one, the old one, because all the quantities are listed differently. That's how it's done. So I don't know. I mean, the only concern I really have is, do I have enough drills? That's all I really care about. You know, if I need 50 drills and you send me 51 drills and I've got enough to complete it, I don't really care that it's not a full. I don't really care it's not a full bag. I've got enough to do. You know, you buy the canvas and the drills, and you expect enough drills to go on. You know, you don't buy a canvas going, oh, well, I hope there's about 1,000 drills left over. You know, so I'm not bothered by extras. Right, guys. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I will be on in about 50 minutes doing my Eddie Stobart. Quite looking forward to this now. Is it this one? I shall do it in my usual manner, which is 53, 51. So a little bit of a spoiler for you. We aren't doing anything that you haven't seen before, because you do issue 49, 48. 48 is a piece is I can't remember which one was left and which was right. But let's say you do a left chassis, then you do the extension on the left chassis, then issue 50, which was published last week, is the first part of the right chassis. And then this is that extension, and there's nothing original until next week, which is the front left mudguard, which I'm now panicking over, because if anyone's been watching my Eddie Stobarts, you'll know that I painted one of the mudguards. Then I panicked because the second mudguard had a number plate which was stuck on, so I had to try and mask it off, and that kind of succeeded. But now, every time I see the word mudguard, which is coming next week, I'm like, I've got to paint that one and all, so it don't look different from the others. But yeah, so I'm going live in an hour, less than an hour. Yep. It's exactly the same as issue 49, but 49 was the one where the screws snapped. So I'm getting my epoxy glue ready, because that's how I fixed the last one, and I was happy enough with that. So all that's left now then is for me to carry on rolling this ciggy, and then Natasha can see us out.
Okie dokie. Thank you once again for joining. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope to see you on the next one. In the meantime, happy crafting and stay safe.
Take care, guys.
Take care.